on the Vision Train today. Today it is Friday, the 31st of July. Now it's 4:09 Brazil time. I am Marinas, I am Rebels. I'll be your host today. And well, we supposed to have Ellie as well, but her internet just crashed now. So yeah. I am glad that we have all these beautiful guests here from the Vision Train. Thank you so much for your present, Kim, Charlotte, Paul, Kyra, Amanda, Chance, Travis, and Josephine. I'm really glad to have you all here on the Vision Train to jam tonight. Yay, so glad to see you. Thank you so much. So, for this first hour, we were planning on like sharing a little bit of what is this theme of money and value that we are exploring here on the Vision Train this week. Because as you know, we are doing a fundraiser called Gathering Momentum. And the Vision Train, it is this organism, the system that it is built, and one of the most like funds that it gets it is through donation and through the membership. So we need this support to keep the train rolling because it is a lot, not only the back end, but like the support of all the systems to be working good. It is a lot. So we need to be doing this. And the Vision Train, it is a tool that provide a lot to people. It is so enriching. And I believe that we all here are train riders and we know this value. Like we know why we ride the Vision Train. We know the value of riding the Vision Train, and it goes beyond money. It goes like beyond the material. I can say this for sure because it's really interesting how the Vision Train, you know, like this exchange, like the reciprocity, and like bringing the next theme for this, the value of it, the exchange that happened. It is so incredible. And I heard once, that the most valuable thing that a human being can give, it is the presence. And we practice this on the train daily. Because if it wasn't for your presence here on the train, we wouldn't be speaking to who, So the presence, the attention, this is the most precious gift that each Vision Train rider can give to the Vision Train. And yes, we can give more. But if we can give just this, it is so impressive how we can expand and all the ripples like transform reality. Ellie, I see you're back, my friend. Welcome back.
Yeah, I said I was ready the same minute that my computer died. And it was so funny because I was remembering it was like 2 weeks ago. Kyra was in the same weird spell where it's just like, what am I doing? Why am I letting my battery get this low? The charger is right here. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. So I know what it's like now, Kyra. But I'm back. Yeah, and I was
Welcome
just
back.
listening in to everything that you were saying, and it was coming to me more and more with where you landed with the ripples, but even just in thinking about the questions, it's like it's exactly why it was called Gathering Momentum. It's like every week is building on the last one. So it's like still have so much fresh from the first week of just like gathering momentum and what are we building together. And I like did 5 trips and went to both of Kyra's trips and we did all this and it was like super external. And then this week I thought with money and value, it was gonna be super like external like numbers, like getting my website in order and different things. And it totally was like this integration. Like I love the newsletter that I put out this week, like was just like so cathartic for me to write. It's just like been such a cool thing to like go from, yeah, the theme of like what are we building together in the ground that we laid with that into money and value in a way that feels like so much more supported and not like anything to do with the rat race or like trying to win the game or like, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, here we are now in the center with money and value. And then what comes next with the reciprocity exchange, like you said, is feel the movement coming in. And it's just, yeah, it's been great. But I'd love to hear from also just like because we don't have a lot going on in the first hour and we've got a great crew on board. I'm so curious like what's coming up for everyone else. Like we could sort of like I thought during this time it would be great to talk about like up to this point because we're gonna stop again in the middle for those of you that are planning to stay for the whole hurrah for the momentum report and we'll do that sort of transition into reciprocity exchange. But feel free to weave whatever is coming up for you guys. I'm just curious.
Yeah, anyone want to share?
Yeah, I can share. So I've been hosting twice a week the Daily Visions deep dive and have been theming it to the weekly fundraiser or like the weekly change of the fundraiser. And yeah, I haven't fully prepared every single lesson or conversation, but it's there. And I think that's something that happens in the vision training plan for something and you just don't know what will come or who will come, what conversations will happen and with who. So it's interesting for me to see the change of people because I host on Monday. For me, it's I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Wednesday it's 11. So it's a different time of day and a different time of week. So getting different people's perspectives on the theme. So gathering momentum was it felt like a nice first block to go to what is value because if I forget the things that I need to gather momentum, um, how can I value it? I don't know. And there's so many things that have happened in the last 2 weeks now, and it's 3 hour trips, and I'm editing videos for that, and yeah, I'm so excited to share that when that's ready.
Yeah, we had some really good conversations. I feel like I'm super excited because you get so into, I don't know if you guys, if this happens to you, but I get so into the conversations that I'm in and then I like get out of them. I'm like, what did I say? What did the, I don't, you know what I mean? It's like I should have been taking notes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the other day I had a conversation with only Shara, and it was the first time it was just a one-on-one person, and it was like so much great, valuable information that I'm just like listening, and it's hard to me for me to engage because I like don't want to keep thinking about what I'm gonna say, but I also want to keep listening to the other person. And yeah, it's definitely made me learn adjustment with what I'm doing
Mm,
notes, like you said, and yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Like what the vision train can provide us in this sense of the a espontaneidade do momento. The
Yes.
momentum spontaneous. Yeah, this
Yes.
word. Yes.
Spontaneous momentum.
Spontaneous momentum. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's so impressive this because yeah, I saw the recording of you and Shara, and you were like engaged on a talk for 3 hours. They were like sitting down on a chair and talking for 3 hours.
It was a good one.
You know, it's supposed to be a good one. Come on, it was so interesting. I'm so curious to listen to this talk and what you guys have to share more about it, please, because these I value so much these moments on the vision train. This is why the vision train focus happens as well. You know, just 2 hours of one Vision Train Rider, like please just 2 hours of you and we get only these, like because we spend so much time with each other here and these deep dives are really, really precious. Yeah, I'm glad that this happened. And I'm excited to get one of your momentum trips, Kyra.
You too.
Yeah. Who else has something to share? Or was that everything? You're more than welcome to continue. Okay. Who else?
So I love the theme of gathering momentum.
Hey,
Um,
Paul.
Hi. The other night I couldn't sleep, and had been listening to this podcast, and a bunch of stuff was spinning in my brain. I had to get up and kind of write it all down. And I've been kind of thinking about, these small communities that we're in, Vision Train and Wisdom Workshop and the Veraverse and Muna and whatnot. And it's like, you know, you know, what do we do? We gather. We gather to be together. We gather to show up for each other. We gather to heal ourselves, heal the planet, heal humanity. And we gather in small groups. And if you think about it, a lot of what we're doing is regenerating community.
Mm.
Community is so important. If you think about, small groups can really move the needle in a lot of ways. Like the civil rights movement could not have happened without Black churches, and
Mm.
the abolition movement could not have happened without Quaker meeting rooms. Feminism might not have happened without consciousness raising circles in living rooms, and now we're doing it on Zoom. So, there's just so much that we're facilitating and guiding and inner and outer work, around our core beliefs and values. And, so I think that all of these communities are like so important. So I would encourage everybody to support this community as well as all the other communities that we're taking part in. Um, yeah, there's, the whole idea of gathering and momentum is a really nice convergence of two really important things. So, yeah, just wanted to share that.
Well, I would love to share just in response how much it means to me personally. Paul is a friend of mine. And so it means a lot to me to have you here always and to have you up on the platform to be able to say thank you because Paul has definitely contributed on more than one occasion to the Vision Train. And he's just one of those people that, just having him on board, it's such a resonance factor where, he's only been on board a handful of times, but every single time he gets it. He totally got it from the moment he stepped on board. He's come into Lisette's poetry circles and just like blown us away. And just like through listening, even, I mean, he was just like responding. I don't think he was even there to write that time. It's just been a joy to have you on board, Paul. So thank you so much.
Yes, I can say the same. Thank you so much, Paul. Like Ali said, I've been together with you only a few times here on the Vision Train, but every time your presence, your attention, and your shares are so enriching. And it's really like, really, truly glad to meet you. Yeah. Yeah, I deeply appreciate. And also this comparison between like we gather. Why
Yeah.
we gather? Why? Why do we gather? Like, why this matter? Like, why this matter? Why do we like to get together and share and be together here? It is so interesting. And like what you said, with this gathering, you can change the world. You can change something. It is possible.
Excited. We've got a great crew on board tonight. We're up to a dozen people. Do you have a sense of how many people might be tuned into the live stream?
Oh, not yet.
No.
No. I saw in Facebook there was one. Yes.
Nice, nice. If
Yeah.
anybody is doing double time, I know sometimes our crew is like checking the live stream and then coming back and letting us know. So I love just like playing that game, but Yeah, is there anyone else that wants to share just what's been coming up with them since we started the fundraiser with Gathering Momentum? We started off talking about what are we building together, and then we moved into money and value, like what are the things we value and why, and how do we resource those things? And then yeah, Paul just brought up just the ways we gather and the places we gather and all the guiding questions around that. And yeah, so love to hear from anyone else if you have something to share.
Yeah, I can go double dip into this if no one else wants to. Um, Working out the trips for the Daily Vision deep dive and going and gathering momentum, I base it off like how can we gather momentum to make art every single day? How can we like prepare ourselves to get to the paper, to the easel, to whatever project you're working on? And this question is really direct, but it's so open-ended because everybody has their own individual process and what's best for them. So, you know, my answer could be not right for you. And learning that in what I'm doing so that I can also do it in the community has been really valuable. And I'm like gathering momentum to release my like daily visions, my original drawings that I did last year. And there's just 298. So there's a lot of time and effort to go into this exchange. And recently I just put all of the prices on, and I felt like that was the hardest for me out of everything, like the web design. It's just like, how do I price my art? So talking to Shara and to the first group on Monday, and also listening to Chris Dyer, and I forget the other artist's name that was with Anya on that trip.
Derek.
Derek. Yeah, I didn't realize that was happening, so it was like a perfect timing to just hear like professional artists or working artists what they do. Yeah.
That's so exciting that you got that done. I know that yeah, you were moving, getting closer to it, and like that you chose this week to do it does feel like perfect timing. And that, yeah, now that you told me that that's where you landed from the conversation, now I have to hear these conversations because I've just been like letting the little ideas, sort of flutter in and flutter by. I'm just like I'm definitely taking notes this week, but I haven't gotten
Yeah.
into my business mode yet for my own personal stuff. So that's so inspiring.
Yeah, I would say that's another reason like why I'm here because like I invested in the membership because of all the amazing like archival content that we have that's so like for me, if I didn't know about the Vision Train, this is like limited like edition secret, almost like secret box. Nobody really knows about it unless you know about it. And
Yeah.
it's so valuable. Like I really like commend Marina and Brittany and anybody that's like making us go out to the social media world so other people can see because it's like it takes a lot of time and effort to do that. And it's trying to do that for myself, it's like, ooh, okay.
Or even just you as a member going through the archive. Thank you. You know what I mean? Because it is such a treasure trove. But also, I do understand that some of these recordings are several hours long. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to us to sort of sift through them and find like the pieces that resonate and the different, but it's all available for us, right? So I just want more and more people to remember that, especially, yeah, all of our conductors have access to the archive. So, it's such a valuable thing right now to be a conductor and to receive that kind of training for free and to be able to like support your own evolution as like maybe a teacher or a facilitator, or even just holding space, you know what I mean, has been so valuable for me. And I know we've talked about it, so I know it's been valuable for you too. So yeah, you're just like one of the people that I can like, like a mirror for me where I'm just like, yes, this place totally is the bomb.com and everything we're doing is like working wonders. It's just like so good to see.
Yeah, and it's an organism. It doesn't function on its own. It has to be
Mycelial
moved.
network.
Yeah, it has to be moving together. So it is really interesting, like the way that it is sustained. Like all the content that is created here on the train that are now being recorded, and then they can provide the recording is there for the membership, and then any person can get to the recording at any time of their life. It is there, in access, everyone can click and watch. And this is like, you cannot put this into value. You cannot put this into numbers. This is like, what? This is so enriching. Like, when you will get the possibility of checking like so many classes, there are workshops there, drawing workshops, painting workshops, business workshops.
15. There's 15 whole like that are very nice. This is one thing that I pointed out in the newsletter this week because I didn't even know this. And you guys have done this and packaged this so beautifully where it's like one of the first things you come to now in the archive are just these 15 mini workshops for artists. And I mean it's just beautiful. So whether you're looking at the raw legacy that we have created and we will continue to create with these like full length trips, or like so much of the curating work that you and Brittany are doing primarily, and that we're inviting more and more of our conductors and crew to be a part of as well, is to just take this treasure trove and bring it like to the world in a way that like, yeah, with the storytelling, the art and everything that we are. So yeah.
Yes, it's truly, truly precious to put out the words of the Vision Train. These are people from the Vision Train. These are our community. This is us. Every share that we have, you guys, since we've been here on the like doing a lot on the train, the Canva from the Vision Train and the YouTube from the Vision Train, dude, these both programs that are like full of full of content that were
Yeah.
created only in these 6 months. Like, it not that doubled, it maybe triple or four times. Like all the 6 years, in 6 months we did more because of this intention, because we can put this out now, because the Vision Train has now the archives of the 2026 is one of the biggest one. And what I say to Amanda when I see like the back end of the Vision Train, you guys, it's so organized, it's so fun, it's
Yeah.
impressive.
Well,
And
this
when
is the
you
thing
see,
too. Oh my gosh. Well, this you're making the most perfect point because how did we do this actually? We had an incredible fundraiser with Light Up the Tracks. The archive has been here all along. There has been diligently people stewarding these recordings and like Marina said, like keeping the drives in order, and it's all just there waiting to be shared. And it was really the fundraiser that we did with Light Up the Tracks that Lisette and Nina and Amanda and so many others helped to put that together, that allowed me and Marina to come in and start designing all this stuff and sharing it and inspiring you all to continue that legacy, right? So it's like so cool to see how like the everything that we've saved that we intend to carry forward is being carried forward, and it's all happening through this like mechanism, like Marina said, an organism, an ecosystem, even like a whole like system of organisms and connections between us. So oh my gosh, it makes me so excited. I feel like though there's so many people here, and I know there's got to be people that do want to share. And so like maybe we're just not giving enough time for people to jump in. Maybe we try like raising hands or something like that. Or maybe people are just in flow and not in conversation right now. You tell me. I see
yay,
Josephine's raising her hand.
I
Hey,
am.
yay.
Josephine.
Mainly been working like really like crazy this week, like on a holiday arts and crafts camp. So I haven't done a lot of painting, but I still remember the conversations from earlier on in the week, and I was thinking, okay, so I've got to practice what I preach. So I still allotted 2 hours to myself yesterday to sit down and do some more work on my painting that I've been working on for like absolutely ages, and I did post where I'm at with it. So that was my own momentum. And then also I did get finally my Vision Train t-shirt. Woo-hoo. So it arrived in the post today, just on time for me to put it on and say, yep, I'm on the train. And I'm going to visit a couple of friends that I've known since we were 18 tomorrow, and we're meeting in a city called Bristol, and I'm going to be wearing my t-shirt, and if it sparks some conversations and I talk to some new people about the train, then that happens, we'll see where it goes. So it's about sort of trying to gather momentum in my own practice and what I'm doing, even with my limited time at the moment, but also seeing where the ripples go out and where the mycelial web can take you, and just being a bit more just outward facing, because I have been a bit of a hermit, I think, apart from when I'm on the train, but in general life I've been a hermit. So I'm just trying to talk to more people that I don't know and invite more people in, and just spark creative conversations with people and ask about their creative dreams, wishes, wants, desires, where do they want to go with it all, and know that there's a platform here that could support them. So I'm sort of in the middle of packing and getting ready to go off tomorrow. So I might turn my camera off, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi to everyone, and keep up the good work, all the conductors. You're really doing such a fabulous job. And so we're building momentum. Let's see where we go.
Yay, thank you so much, Josephine. This share made me so happy, and I'm so glad that the t-shirt arrived. Like, wow, today.
Yeah, well, of course, tomorrow is the festival Lunarsar, so it's just on time for that as well. So I can spread those vibes. Yeah, that's out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so glad that you support the Vision Train like that. Like you want a t-shirt. I wanted so bad my t-shirt. I waited for so long, and now I have two.
I need another one now. It's not fair. You can't have two, and I only have one.
No, it's like well, there are three different
There's more than one
prints.
design, right? And they're all
Yes. So
nice.
yeah, this one that you have is the one that I don't have. So
Oh,
it is my next one for sure.
we'll start our questions, see where we go.
Yes, and yeah, I'm so glad that you're meeting some friends tomorrow, and I hope you have an amazing time. Like, wow, so long, friends for so long,
Yeah.
and meeting them up. This is very interesting.
All live in different, parts of the UK, but it's like you have to kind of make the effort with like putting your effort into doing your art, into your friendships, into your communities, into your work that you do. Like it's the whole thing, isn't it, really? And I think like it does remind me to do more of that, because I get more inspired by people on the train who are really proactive and just get on with life and do cool things. So I think it's a good message to self, isn't it? To just be outward facing and spread the love, spread the joy, spread the happiness, spread the creativity vibes, wherever you go, not just when you're on your own, but just try and bring that with you, that vibe as well. That's what it's all about, as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, choo choo. Yeah, I'm so glad to join this ride with you. Thank you so much, Josephine.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do my packing, but anyway, lovely talking to you, and I'm listening in, even if I don't speak as much.
Yay, thank you. Well,
Thank
I see Chance wanna share something.
Yeah,
Hi.
hey friends.
Hey.
So good to be here. You know, uh, drew as much inspiration from Paul's share about gathering and kind of the energy and importance around these small communities as I did the first time I heard him kind of get into that. is a like really passionate time right now for us across these collective communities. And for those of you that don't know me, my name's Chance, also known as the designer in the Veraverse, and we're a community and practice around regenerative philosophy and very synergistic to some of the creative components of what Vision Train is doing as well. We're world building a world for like good making and change making and building regenerative ways of being. Um, and there's just this kind of like sense of, I mean, momentum captures it well, I think, but also like a sense of arrival at kind of understanding like the mastery of what we set out to do and what to be, you know? And there's so much more to go, right? There's so much more expansion and evolution and maturation of what we're co-creating together. But just at the like root level, I feel like we're stepping into this place of mastery. And I want to celebrate specifically some of what Ali, you were talking about around like archiving and recording. I think that is such a wonderful exercise in belief of where things are going, right? Because if you don't actually think you have something, then what's the point of like archiving the story, right? But if you know you're telling a good story, you document it, you record it, you capture it, you share it, you keep it, so that we can continue to share it out there with the world. And I'm just so excited that Vision Train has done such a good job of that. And I also, you know, in curating my own community and stuff, I know the amount of work that takes, right? And the focus and dedication it takes to keep track of all of these things that are happening, because we're all kind of doing a lot. We're gathering frequently, right? We're spending a lot of time creating cool stories. So, yeah, just kind of wanted to take a moment to celebrate that, and to let everybody know too that for anybody that's contributing to the Gathering Momentum fundraiser, Viridescence is offering access to a Harness Your Hero workshop that we're starting on August 12th as well. So I'll put some information in the chat to that. But that's kind of our way of being supportive to, like, yes, Vision Train and Viridescent are two different like organizations, communities, but we're partners, we're cross pollinators, and so when Vision Train is successful from a monetary standpoint, Viridescent is happy and celebrates, and we want to provide gifts in our own way. And so yeah, I'll put some stuff in the chat, but really good to see you all. As you see, I'm a wolf, a bunny, and a unicorn. What that means is that I'm in dad mode, so I'll be kind of off camera, but I'll be hanging most of the way, I think. And the kids will probably play and draw and stuff a little bit as the music gets going. Milo says, "This is boring," as people chit chat, right?
You ain't
And I was
seen
like, well,
nothing yet,
that's
Milo.
what
And
I
Milo
told
knows
him.
how
I was
it
like,
goes.
just be patient, you 5-year-old, you.
He knows.
And my
He already
daughter's back
knows.
here,
He likes
kind
the
of
more
lurking.
musical parts and when
He
we're
does,
painting.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
And I
So,
will say, Chance, also while I have you, Chance is, being super professional and humble, but I want to say while we're on the live stream, what is so cool about the Veraverse and the Harness Your Hero offering that he's mentioned is that it's like he said, they always do a pay what you can offering on this for their members. But because I'm a member and because we're friends, he wants to offer that to anyone that sees this live stream as well. And if you do sign up, he'll know that you came from me. I'll get a little bit, and guess where that's going to go? Right back into gathering momentum because that's just who I am today. So, it's really like building into this is the perfect moment to talk about reciprocity and exchange, and something that I brought up in the newsletter about this idea that somehow generosity leaves us with less. That has never been my experience, and definitely never been my experience when being generous with the train. So I'm just welcoming that kind of an idea into our minds as you're interacting with us, and I'm putting a big voucher sticker on Chance in the Veraverse. He's been just like a pleasure to have on board, and I work with them on a regular basis on a lot of levels in their organization. So it's just great,
yeah,
great to have
Allie's
you,
a
and
member of
the
our
offering is so sweet.
Ali's a member of our Soul Trust, which is our like altar advisory board of sorts, and we're so grateful for her contributions. The other thing I wanted to mention too is that for this workshop and probably another one coming up in the fall, we'll have something similar going. One of the things about our Harness Your Hero program is basically you become the central characters in sustainability comic story, right? And you go all these quests and become kind of a like hero band and such. And Or I guess, Paul, as you've been playing with, maybe a heart band. I don't know. We're talking about like harness your heart, harness your humility, because the harness your hero is almost a kind of a satire and a play on things. Is that the most heroic thing you can do is to show up for each other and be together, to gather. But one of the things I'll mention is that when we first started this, and I've talked about this before, I think in the Vision Train, but I'm going to keep speaking to it because it's the power of where we're arriving as well. When we first started developing this program, I was looking for artists to be able to draw our Veraverse world, and I couldn't find the right fit. And if I had known the Vision Train was also kind of starting right when we started in 2020, and so I didn't want to like not get going, and so we utilized artificial intelligence to create the first part of the story, which actually kind of makes sense because we're kind of like dancing with and escaping the machine world. So there's some kind of cool play there a bit. But as we move forward, as we develop the next part of the story, the next workshop series, and the comics and things, we don't want to use AI anymore, right? We want to like say goodbye to said machine, because we don't use AI for like our storytelling development, our writing, all that stuff. And so just want to let you all know that for those of you that participate, you'll get kind of pulled into like a first wave of potential artists to help us actually draw the next part of the world. And that can be digital art, it can be painting, I don't know. We're kind of open and interested in all mediums and forms. So definitely, worth coming and checking out what we're up to, and then we can talk about how to work together as we continue to evolve the program. So yes, choo choo. And with that, I'll put the links in the chat and go into listening mode for a bit, and looking forward to the journey ahead.
Great.
Much
and
love.
Thank you, Chance, for showing people how it's done. We're definitely not scared of reciprocity on the Vision Train. This has always been a platform for multiple communities. We've hosted showcases across multiple communities since day one. So happy to give you the time and space to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, there's been really great shares here in this beginning of the critical mass.
Yeah. Yeah, and people coming in, filtering in. I'm noticing a lot of people are off camera right now, so I know we're getting ready to shift. Not quite yet, but soon our first guest will be arriving, Jerry Littlejohn. She is a creator and player of wooden flutes, and studier of the I Ching, and just a super cool, mystical, philosophical being that I've had the pleasure of meeting in several online spaces. So I'm excited to have her coming on at the top of the hour. But in the meantime, we still do have some time to hear from people if they would like the time and space. We're thinking about gathering momentum. We're thinking about money and value. What are we building together? Oh, you know what? Well, I have the spotlight. You guys, oh, this is really exciting. So during the first critical mass ever, I set this intention and I got this idea of collective aria. And in classical music, an aria is like an extremely complicated solo. But with my idea of collective aria, it's this idea that we're all performing this extremely complicated piece of music, but we have to do it as if we are one voice, one body, as if we're one, right? But we all have a very unique part to play. And so what I am conveying that through is the modality of crochet, thread crochet to be specific. And several months ago, I started this piece and I came out of my little sweet little grass background so that I could try to show, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so big and I finished it. And I'm
Whoa! Hey,
so
hey,
in love
put
with
it
it.
in the wall. Put it in the wall, like behind you. Like, yeah, get up and like put it in the white wall.
It's not gonna be
Yes.
so easy though.
No, but yeah, wow. Dude,
Whoa.
come on.
Can you see?
It
Oh,
is,
I'm
yes,
gonna,
it's
yeah.
huge. But it's huge, yes. It is huge.
I have been working on this so much and I've been like not capturing in an extractive way, but just really the same way that Chance was speaking about the archive, my whole body just gets, I love it. and I'm so excited to figure out through this fundraiser different ways of storytelling this, and honestly, like I see it as an heirloom. I see it as holding so much value for someone. I see it as being incredibly magically supportive in so many ways, and I can't wait to start the next one. Um, so I just wanted to share that because it's really special. I started, yeah, the very first one I started, the very first critical mass back in March. And then I took a break and then I started making new ones. And this is by far and away, this is my third one since March, and it's the biggest and it's the best. And it's, yeah, it's going to be the first official one in the collection. So I'm so excited.
Okay, I got to jump in because that was so beautiful. And there's this theme of like weaving that I put in the chat, and
Yeah.
with your weaving. So I've been on this kind of creative project to write a poem every day for the 7 week cycle of writing a good life in the Wisdom Workshop. And so I got to read this poem that I wrote, which is called Weaving.
Okay, give Paul all the spotlight.
And this was a bit specific to writing, but it could absolutely be specific to needlework, crocheting, knitting, whatever, drawing, painting, whatever. Anyway, weaving. In the Wisdom Workshop, we write a good life. A thread appears, is picked up, woven into a silky web of presence, capturing hearts, not to devour or break them, to hold them in our listening, in our being, there to hear, reflect, reckon, regard, respond. Why write? Why not go out and live a good life? Life is a story to tell, to write down and share. We all have our lived experiences, making flutes as a song to life, tending to bird sanctuaries, emerging through pain and becoming an energy steward, creating a wheel of 1,000 songs. Pick one. So we ask, why not write? Why not say yes to putting pen to paper and watching the words flow into being, telling our story of what it means to live a good life, to zoom into each other, write it, share it, weave it together in this one precious moment.
Choo choo! Wow, that was incredible. And yeah, I just love the synchronicities that you had this written down. And what an incredible project to create a poem every day. Yeah, every day.
Every day, at least to write some lines of poetry. Like some of them are crap and some of them are okay. Um, the interesting thing about it, and I think this applies even to any artwork, is like I'm not so worried about the outcome. It's just the process of doing it that I'm kind of loving. I'm just kind of loving writing lines and not worrying about, is this a good poem? Is this is this something I would publish? It's just the mere presence and practice of writing every day and writing a poem every day. So I kind of love that.
Yeah, this keeps in movement. We have a project here on the Vision Train called it Daily Visions. It
Mhm.
is to create one artwork every day. And
Right.
it like what you said, it's not about the result. It is about sitting down and making something,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, just this act, this discipline, yeah, this dedication. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
impressive.
So somebody put in the chat, they asked where I can find my poetry online, and maybe Chance has a link handy. We actually in the Veraverse we have a what we call our poetry garden that is on Substack every week. It alternates between my poetry and another member of the Veraverse, Sabrina. We alternate weeks in terms of like each of us, submitting poetry that is online there. So, yes, there is some of my poetry online.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. And the link is here already on the chat. Thank you, Chance. Yay, thank you so much. So we are like seven. Thank you, Paul. I hope we can continue sharing, please.
Mm.
And yeah, we are 7 minutes to our next presentation. Jerry is already here. Thank you so much for your presence and more people joining us. Thank you so much. I believe we will do a bio break now, right, Ellie? Would be nice. Ah, you're muted. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was thinking that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, welcome aboard to everyone that has joined us. It's really filling up, and that's lovely to see. I know it's for me it's Friday evening, so I think in my earlier days I would have thought what a sacrifice we're making to be here on a Friday night, right? Like what kind of a life do these guys have? But this is really where it's at, you know? I love being here on Fridays with all of you. So yeah, much love. And yeah, Jerry will be taking us into a journey starting at the top of the hour. So just like 6 minutes.
Yeah, so I will play some tunes for us. I will share my screen with what we have for tonight, and I will put some tunes on, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
So I
That
have
sounds good.
an odd request, which
Oh,
is
yes.
don't put any tunes on.
Don't put any
You know,
tunes.
just let it be. Yeah, so that the
Silent.
ears are fresh and we're not switching from one thing to another. That would be great.
Amazing, Jerry. So I will just share my screen and with o roteiro do dia. And sorry, my friend, sometimes my
And
English.
I'm like, oh, I could have sent you, I could send you a link to my flute music, and then it'd be very low.
No, but that's okay. 5 minutes, no music, silence. That's
Oh yeah.
fine, my friend.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And we'll be back in 5 minutes then. Good for our bio break. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone on the live stream. We will be back soon.
Stay tuned.
Choo choo.
All
Welcome
right, five
back.
minutes goes by fast, huh? Hopefully that was enough time for everybody, but we've gotten to the top of the hour. So welcome back and welcome in to anyone that's just joined us. I see Brian's here. Nice to see you, Brian. Nice to see all of you. We've got a great crew on board. Marley's just joined us. She's going to be one of our guests this evening. Hi, Marley. But yeah, I've done a little bit of introducing you, Jerry, before you arrived, but my favorite thing is to hear Jerry give a semblance of an introduction of who Jerry is.
Yeah, welcome, Jerry.
Thanks. It's really nice to be here, and that's the big question, right? Who am I? Who's doing the introducing? And is there anything I can say that's actually relevant?
Hmm.
Other than I'll say that I'm a being that with these hands has produced many, many flutes. And with this breath in these hands has been a part of flute song coming through. And yeah, I think it's a really beautiful question for each of us, right? To ask, like, and I think that's a big part of this exploration that I've been doing. So I'm going to start by I'm introducing myself as like, okay, I used to call myself a flute maker, and then I called myself a flute maker who played flutes, and then I called myself a musician who played flutes, and I just called myself a musician, and then a contemplative artist, but really contemplation, inquiry. In the end, that's really where it comes back to. So in this time, in this incarnation, in this moment, I'm sort of celebrating setting down the habit of smoking tobacco. And there's something I love so much, right, about the ritual of putting the tobacco on the paper and rolling, all of it. And but as I approach this space, this room today, and how I approach picking up these instruments now, it's that part of how much of it am I really present for, and how much of it is habit? And even this notion of a flow state, of picking up the instrument, and for a long time I would think of it as like being this hollow bone of just getting out of the way. Like, I'm not here, the music's happening. And I think, so I have these questions about what is flow state, and now that like this really sitting with these, what's internal, what's external, what's breath? Is it simply like the natural movement of gravity and the electromagnetic field of the earth, like this sitting up? So letting go of the self, and the idea of who I am. And what happens in breathing or in picking up the instrument and playing, where instead of sort of vacating to allow this idea of creativity's flowing through me, can I really start to inquire into what animates this form? What is this form, and what animates it? And can I simply sit and feel that energy, the breath, the natural way in which, like trees, the body will be upright, how arms can also just be like find a neutral space that doesn't require any effort. And so in a moment, I'm going to, pick up this instrument, and I'll begin simply by the awareness of hands moving and breath and listening to the sound. And the invitation is to just don't do anything. can you feel that the impulse to move, the desire to move, and I don't know, for myself, it's that part of, am I making a decision to create, or am I simply, can I get into a space where I'm not vacating, this ultra hyper present, and then allow like the gesture to happen. And a larger curiosity I have, but I think maybe I'll come back if it's all right into the space another time, is to really then start to explore, what does it mean to collectively arrive, set down our identities and our the habitual ways in which we flow, and explore what happens in a cohered space. Anyway, I hope that all makes sense. So, breathing. Recognizing that with each breath, we're bringing something towards us. With every breath, this energy field is vibrating with the external world. Is this idea of manifestation any more or less than not the thought of being a certain vibration or energy, but actually slowing down enough, recognizing that the form is simply energy slowed down enough to cohere into the shape that is you. Interacting with an environment which is also all the same energy that has slowed down and taken particular forms for a time. And just the magic of recognizing self as nothing more than, and nothing less than everything that we're interacting with. So I invite you to simply breathe with me and vibrate with this sound. And in a way, we're all then have the capacity to attune to these elements in this form, these inner, the elements within, the elements without, and this moment, just one vibratory field. I invite you to notice what you're noticing internally as the movement of being. And maybe when one turns the attention outward, can that feeling of no separation between the space being inhabited and everything else, that barrier dissolves, and the edge of the skin is, is met by the atmosphere. And that through breathing, one is always participating with the atmosphere. I'm going to play another flute, and the invitation to continue to sit with that, or to allow whatever movement or words or connects this moment, the sound here, the sound in each of these. Like there's no separation even here. Wherever each of us is sitting is the same. The gravity that these two forces that allow us to sit upright, it's like the same. So, yeah, I'll let feel like it's actually the trees are getting, just listen, like, so we get serenaded by another tree in another lifetime, and whatever wants to happen. Just thank you for the opportunity to share here. it was kind of unexpected how what kind of music, what was offered. But thank you for sharing in this moment. Yeah.
Yeah, to hear you say it was also unexpected feels like, yeah, you did what you set out to do, what we discussed about creating this really coherent and resonant field. Yeah, am in a totally different place than where I was when we began the journey together, which is interesting. And yeah, I'm feeling a lot of gratitude toward you and also a lot of curiosity. I'm really glad that you threw at the beginning that you're interested in coming back and doing more of this on the train because yeah, I'm so curious in this moment, just more about yeah, your contemplative art.
Yeah, I think I said it all got said. It all got said without any words for, in this moment for me.
Thank you, Jerry.
Mhm.
Maybe we've got a couple of minutes if anybody would like to share any reflections or gratitude. I know the chat was really beautiful to see. A lot of people were just responding and yeah, the different ways. And that I will say the last thing that came to me is something that feels a little bit on the nose, but also a little profound. My experience is not a distraction from my experience. And there was a lot of grace in that for me. So to see everybody, taking it in their own ways and reflecting that would be really cool. Anyone have any burning things to share? Otherwise, we can just save that for closing circle also and welcome Marley up. Timeless music, Brian said in the chat. Nina, oh, the children. Yeah. Nina said her 7-year-old daughter ran downstairs and said to tell you the music is beautiful and that Chance's children had a similar reaction, aged 7, 5, and 3. So it's great to have the children with us and to see how they respond to the music.
Yeah, I just want to say, Jerry, I mean, like, I'm almost out of breath. It was so beautifully visceral. And I was just speaking yesterday about, 95% of human time being indigenous original DNA and how this music, it speaks so anciently to those parts of my body. And it's with such gratitude. It feels so familiar and awakening and beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jerry. It was really a pleasure to experience this. It is really incredible how the flow, when you're playing the flute, you're like in the moment, you don't know, not that you don't know, but you're free to let the moment guide you. And it's truly like we can see that. And it is really impressive how you flow with that. And yeah, like Marley said, it's something really ancient that connects us. So thank you.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in, like I was saying at the beginning, exploring that with others, like what happens in flow state when it's not, when we're really like presencing the state itself, not what we're doing, not what's on the other side of it, what's actually like this part of it. And I don't know if there are others who are kind of curious to explore that together. Like if we're all moving together, animated by the same energy, what happens?
It makes me wonder about like if we were all outside together at the same time listening to it and how that might really support the energy of the earth and be an offering to our local beautiful earth community.
Mm. Yeah, I'd love to try that sometime for sure. Oh, Marina, I think you're muted or your sound's not coming through. Weird. Yeah, something's wrong. Bugs.
Hello, hello.
There you
Now
go.
back.
Good.
Yes. So yeah, this reminds me of like how there is a vision when we are on the vision train, that we are all sitting around the fire,
Mm,
gathering together. And yeah, because I don't know, it feels like that, even though we are on a screen, online, on the web, but yeah, it's warm. It is warm when we get together.
mm. Oh, that definitely sparked something for my friend Chance. He's got, yeah, come on, Chance. As long as, I think also Marley, I know this is your time. Does this feel good? Perfect, let's go.
Me and Marley are wolfkin here, so it's
Yeah.
all traveling. I mean, I was literally just like walking across my space here to say to Marley's point around being out in nature together, and then the fire is like, Jerry, how much I would love to have you join one of our nature retreats, and because we do it in the backcountry in a very spiritual place, a canyon in particular, where the acoustics of that, with the creek roaring across the canyon, and maybe a fire crackling, and just an amazing group of wonderful kindreds. My goodness, it's kind of like, I don't know, like I'm in my living room here, and I just was looking out at the trees, and out towards the lake that we're lucky enough to get to look at each day, and I just kind of sailed off and out there, and so the idea of being out there with that sound carrying us in the wild, you know, because of course we're all on screens, we're all in rooms and built environments, and for it to be that powerful when we're in that setting, right? This like built environment. Um, just thinking about it in the backcountry, in the wild, is lovely. So I don't know, more to come. Yeah, Jerry, go ahead.
No, that sounds really lovely to me as well. And then for those of you who know me as the like contrary that I am, I'm going to be like, yeah, but also like I don't ever imagine myself like sitting at a fire. I mean,
Mm,
sometimes I might tap into something, but whatever that I'm tapping into, it's always like, actually, I bring it right here. So if there's, but if so, if here doesn't feel like, but here is connect, it's that to me, it's really that deep, like really tapping into like, oh no, right here is connected to that. I don't have to like imagine myself somewhere else.
yeah,
That's here.
yeah.
And yeah, so anyway, but I would love to, yeah, when I heard you talking about it the other day, I was like, did I get there?
Yeah, yeah, it would be cool to have you. And I mean, we're in an annual cadence. Eventually, we'll be offering seasonal experiences as well. So more to come, but certainly,
Mm,
Allie, and some other wonderful friends. I think he's got it on his calendar, so he might be joining us too. So we'll see.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so.
Much love for that. Thank you. That was a gift. That was a
Yeah,
gift.
Mm.
well, thanks. But yeah, and that'll be, and then you can take the highlight off me and stick me back in, in the crew. I was gonna say, but yeah, that bit, I'll just bring that bit of, like I was saying, like to me, that's I mean, working with a flute, it just makes breath be so, it's like the thing, and then the instrument is like, oh, the instrument just showing me breath and everything that, you know, I once had someone tell me I could get up on a stage and not play flute, but just breathe, and everyone would still get, like we think these other, like dowsers can douse without the rods, but the rods make it easier. But yeah, so I'll just kind of leave with that bit of, whenever you're having that presencing moment and breathing, it's, for me, it started with yin and yang. It's like the receptive and the penetrating, and recognizing like that outer part is, that it's just not a thought. Like the outer is interior. We breathe, and then like the same solar energy is like, the radiating energy within our cells. Like it really is one environment, one fractalized the hollow reality. So
Jerry, I love it when you weave so much. It's like, it gives me so much life to hear. Yes. Thank you. That was amazing. I felt it so deeply in my heart. Oh my gosh. Welcome. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for everyone for being here. And Jerry, I mean, yeah, resounding through all time and space. Thank you. So today, so grateful for everything that Jerry set us up with, and I'm just going to take a moment to get my screen shared. All right. So thank you for your presence, and I know such monumental things happening at the Vision Train with this beautiful momentum that is happening with the fundraise. My favorite number, 33,333. So super excited for that. And today, this is really a recalibration station and excavation on the Vision Train. Today, we're going to look closely at what we value and what we believe so that we can remember what it is that really brings us meaning. My friend texted me back today after an invitation to join us, and she said, "What is shadow work?" I said, "It's pretty much looking at the stuff we typically don't wish to see, the stuff we try to run from within ourselves. It's what hides in the psyche and in the subconscious." Her reply was, "Love it. Yeah, I got that shit compartmentalized way in the back." And so, which is common. I lived for many years with so many great compartments, it was almost unbelievable. And so, while this work can be big, we are going to intend to come at it much like Jerry's flute, with softness, with deep love and deep compassion for ourselves. So before we begin, I'd love to introduce myself. My name is Marley Finnegan. I've been on the train before. I'm super grateful to be back, and I'm really excited to see beautiful faces and screens and little pictures that I recognize. I'm a generalist of love, of earth, water, spirit, embodiment, and life. 2 days ago, I conducted a water energy healing in a floating tub with more salt than the Dead Sea, and I helped a man release a lot of heaviness around his relationship. Yesterday, I facilitated a beautiful friend's plant medicine journey, helping him to feel lighter. Today, I communed with the forest, the crows, the cliffs and Lake Michigan, which is part of what my real job is, being in relationship with the earth. I'm the creator of a podcast called The Blueprint Within, based on the concept that when we heal our inner landscape, we also heal our outer relationship to Earth. And I'm a proud member of Viridescent. It's a community that we call the Viraverse, which is a conscious community much like this one, facilitating and dreaming a more beautiful future into being. I'm a proud single mom to one child of my womb, and lovingly have become a mother to many more during different moments of liminality. What we are about to experience today is an exercise from my most recent birthing called Perennial. It provides conscious dying sessions for more liberated living. So there are three main areas of core beliefs, most of which are solidified before we are even 7 years old. So let's take a moment to pause and give radical self-love to that beautiful, innocent version of ourselves. I would love for you to breathe in love, and breathe in or breathe out any feelings that arise that feel uncomfortable. Honor all versions of that little, beautiful, innocent human. And oftentimes these early beliefs can go unchecked and unnoticed, similar to background or white noise in the ever-playing soundscape of our unconscious minds. The thing is that beliefs from that time are both positive and negative. It's the pesky shadow or negative beliefs in which are most critical for us to see, as they can often be in direct discord with what we seek to actually bring into our lives today. What beliefs about yourself do you have lurking from that beautiful, innocent mind that are no longer helpful? And you don't need to go into this deeply now. We're going to circle back to this. This is really just introducing the concept. What beliefs about others do you have which are not serving you? I know I had a deep bout of climate grief in October of 2024, and I wound up feeling really judgmental of others around relationship to climate action. At that time, I was a sustainability consultant. I had just advised the Democratic National Convention on their sustainability strategy and had a really successful, beautiful time. At that time, every client that I had on my books for the following year canceled their entire scope of work. And as the election became what it was, my business essentially failed. But my belief about others was not in service to me. My belief about the unknown people out there that weren't changing and weren't listening and weren't this or that was just my own judgment projected. So, what beliefs about others don't align with the world and the future in which we are dreaming and want to really see? What beliefs about the world do we have writ large, that imaginable place outside of us that is or isn't aligning with what we hope and wish and want to see? And finally, what beliefs do we have about money? What do we believe about money? And what do we believe about those people out there that we hear about all the time with lots and lots and lots of it? So, our values are abstract ideals we've developed about ourselves and our world, the concepts that we hold near and dear to our chosen identity. They are what we wish to define ourselves by in our conscious day-to-day reality. There are many faces to values, and the World Economic Forum claims that the most common are as follows: family, relationships and vulnerability, financial security, belonging, community, personal growth, loyalty, religion, spirituality, employment, security, and personal responsibility. But there's a list on the left that is far, far greater. And you'll see many different personal values. So oftentimes when I present this, I feel as if the 9 values of the World Economic Forum make people feel like almost a guilt, like they need to adhere or subscribe to, family being first, when maybe creativity is first for you. And so we are going to do this completely non-hierarchical. It's going to be a web, a spider web, and you can pick as many values as you would like. But right now, we're going to take 10 minutes to define your own web of values, either by way of art, by way of journaling, by way of writing, and give the time and space to really think about and feel into what your web might be. I just want to open up if anyone has any questions. Feel free to jump on at any moment or any comments. Otherwise, we'll see you in 10. 2-minute warning. Okay, does anyone need more time? If you do, please feel free to raise a hand. Also, I'm not the most tech savvy with the music, so apologies for the silence, but I do kind of think it's beautiful sometimes. Um, so now I'm going to check and make sure we are all good here. Now we're going to come back to community and really consider what our values are. I want to open up the room to anything that came through that maybe surprised you or was a recalibration of what sort of maybe you had thought was your current comfortable identity and some things that you remembered or yeah, just would love to hear from the group and anyone that feels called to share about how this values exercise was.
I'm totally happy to share. I was hoping if I waited and waited, is there not someone wants to share? But no, I'm happy to. It was really beautiful. This is one of my favorite practices in my own personal life, to just like whip out the list. It's such a joy, but it meets you on so many levels. And today I did it in a brand new way, actually. My hands are tingling. Oh, that's cool. Um, but I did it in a brand new way where I just kept, have you guys ever seen the word jumbles like on social media? I find them on Facebook sometimes where it's all the words put together and you're supposed to just like see which ones like pop out at you first. So I just did it like that. And I came up with the 9 that popped out at me first. And I just am excited to see like over the next maybe few days or whatever, like maybe spend time with those a little bit more. And yeah, just for whatever reason. And I do. I mean, there's definitely some good ones, but it was the idea from what Jerry was weaving of just like yeah, it's all good, man. It's just like there's no wrong answers in this space and everything is what it is. But to just be able to embody that in my own way, when the moment is calling for that. So yeah, it was a really a gift. So thank you.
Mm. Thank you for that beautiful share. Would anyone else like to jump in about what came through for them?
I'll share a little bit. I came into the room a little late, but I did a really I wasn't able to edit myself because I had to look at the list and go, okay, what really speaks to me? And so like I had a hard time. Like, at first I circled like almost all of them. And then I went back and I said, well, which ones really sing? And And now I see a little story that's happening for where I'm at right now. And yeah, I know that these values shift and change, and one of the biggest ones that comes up is balance. It's like all the things that you feel and all the things that you're doing and all the stories that you tell yourself about what those things mean or why we do those things or why they're important and what we can let go of or not let go of. It all comes down to this place of balance, of, you know, not going overboard in any one area, you know, or pushing the boundaries but pulling them back like a seesaw.
Yeah, I love that. And I also think it's interesting to think about what feels culturally or societally like it's should be on your list, but maybe if you're being honest, it wouldn't be, or just where, yeah, I think that's interesting. And I love balance.
Yeah, I'm a Gemini.
Mm.
I'm always juggling, but yeah, the balance is really something, it's part of that mindfulness piece of just knowing when I'm working too hard or I'm just micro focused on one thing, but I need to like deal with five other things that are by the wayside because I've been painting for 3 days straight. Yeah, it's just an awareness.
But I also love, that the painting and the artist flow state and how that is so incredibly beautiful for your soul, and how do you find the balance? Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Jerry.
Oh, now we can. Shara, I loved what you said about like, in a way, the beliefs for now, right? Like that's sort of where I went straight away. I'm like, what do I believe about beliefs? Like I said, those who know me will know I'm always like, well, but the beautiful part of that, right? Like this web of values, and like webs are here to like catch us when we fall or ensnare us, right? Like what is a web? And also the beautiful part of a spider. I had this image of a spider like also eating a web before, like either a section or the whole thing. And so I sat here with this idea of like for a minute about no web, and I was like, well, maybe the web's really essential in a way. But then each day you get, it's like some spiders probably make a new web every day. So can we just check in every day? Are these values, is that part of, can we die every day? Can we be born every day? Are these values, what's still true, and what are we breathing? What are we doing? So yeah, I had my list of values were like non-striving, non-attachment, not knowing, like all the negating values, which I think is, yeah, it's really beautiful. I think to like both do like make the set of things and then recognize that that the set is still a construct. It's just maybe a healthier construct. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. And as this relates, this exercise to conscious dying, it's really kind of almost like intended to fast forward to the final moments of life while you're living, and really recalibrating on what is essentially important, what's your compass. And so, the most common regret of the dying is actually that they listened too much to what other people thought they should do and how they should live and who they should love and how they should make money. And so thank you for that. And I love your non everything. Love it so much. Paul? Oh, Paul. Hey, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. I wonder if I'm
Is
sorry.
is there an option there on the microphone? And then there is an arrow up, and then you can select microphone there. Is it possible?
Yeah, maybe switch back to the computer. Okay, well, Paul, we'll come back to you anytime you're ready. All right, is there anyone else that wants to share? Otherwise, we can keep the train moving. All
I
right.
see Billy, you want to share?
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Billy.
Billy. Hi. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'll share if that's cool. I was also like a little bit late to my note. I didn't turn off my I did turn off my notifications, but they said still kept coming in. But anyways, so I am the one that had the transformation yesterday that Marley spoke on, and I'm honored to share that. And it's a day removed, but in the water today, which is Lake Michigan. Sorry, I live in Southwest Michigan, right on Lake Michigan. So, anyways, I spent a lot of time in there, and I was thinking about what Marley taught me yesterday, which there's a few words to it, right? It can be mentality, belief, understanding, perception, but insight, like the lens of how we see ourselves and then also others in the world of coming from, I mean, it can be generic, but literally from love and understanding. So there is no bad. It is just I don't know, like seeing instead of seeing bad, which in like going toe to toe with the people in the Matrix, and I have done that for a very long time and have gone against some really big players and came out. I won super bloody, right? And so like my perception of that, like now that I think about it, like that was crazy. Why in God name would I ever be in that space and allow them in? So like the view, I don't know, I'm rambling, but like the view of how we see this world and others, and instead of trying to battle the dark, is to with a spear or a knife or whatever your chosen weapon is to battle it back with love and understanding and like the earth, being with going back to the earth, the original people living directly off of the earth and asking it for permission again to live with it. Yeah. All right, I hope that was okay.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you.
I love that. Yeah, we talked so much about compassion for others, even, those that we really don't understand their actions, and seeing them as the child self, the hurt child, with deep pain. Thank you. Okay. So, oops, I think I shared the wrong thing. Hold on one second. Okay. So now we are going to take some time and we are going to journal on our beliefs. And to Jerry's beautiful, amazing point, beliefs are they're pretty solidified in how we look at ourselves and look at the world and look at life until they aren't, until we begin to dismantle that solidification. And that is absolutely a process. And it's a process to hold in deep, deep empathy and grace. And the wild thing about beliefs that Ali so eloquently stated when we were doing prep leading up to this is that our fears are beliefs. What we fear are things that we believe can harm us. And of course, there's very real things that can harm us, and there's very real trauma. But how have our beliefs, positive or negative, affected what how we relate to our values. So kind of using the web of values and that non-hierarchical, beautiful, abstract self-identification mechanism, and then looking deeply at our beliefs about ourselves and the shadow parts where maybe community is essentially important to me, community and connection. And I have had held a shadow belief that I'm not good at creating community. Beliefs of others, like I mentioned earlier, intending and believing that all people are good, inherently good, and that Mother Earth is a regenerator and is the most powerful regenerator, and then simultaneously believing that we have this climate catastrophe. Like, how do these things map out with each other? And what's in discord? What beliefs are in discord with our values? So we're going to take another 10 minutes and we're going to think about four aspects of belief. And it's really beliefs about the self, including the deepest, shadowiest parts. But like Billy mentioned, doing that with radical compassion, radical love, radical empathy for our lived experience and the unique perspective that we hold about ourselves. And the same about others. So, what do we believe about others, about the world, about the possibility? Do we see a lot of the things that are perpetuated in social media that make it seem really menacing? And do we believe that? Or do we hold a belief that unification is coalescing like a web all around us? What do we believe about money? Do we believe that money is bad? I mean, I grew up in a house that literally my parents said money is the root of all evil. I like almost don't even want to say the words out loud because I am in a place where I love when money flows to me. And also our belief about people that have a lot of it. Like, do we believe that they are bad? Do we believe, what is our belief? Do we see them? I personally see them as children who felt a lot of fear and the need to control others. So let's take 10 minutes. I will try to get on the mic here and play some tunes for you all. I can't promise anything on Zoom, but Allie's going to hopefully guide me through.
Otherwise, I can play flute.
Oh my gosh, please. Yes. That would be amazing, Jerry.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Jerry, that music is an absolute gift from heaven. It is unbelievably soothing to the soul. I I wish I could like play it in my mind all the time. Um, does anyone still need the prompts up, or can we go back to community? If you want the prompts up, just give a shout or raise your hand or anything. Also, I can add them to the chat. Okay. All right. How did that feel? I know it felt good in our body because of the flute, but that was some wild stuff, some wild terrain to enter. Did anyone see some big shadow that was in discord with their values? And I want to say I had a huge, with the February eclipse season, I got hit with some of the most intense psychic attack and deep shadow work. It was like black moon, Lilith, full moon, eclipse, all these things flying at me. And anyway, it was harsh. What I realized during that time was that shame, guilt, regret keep us in silos and isolation. They keep us from sharing those parts of ourselves with others. They keep us from talking about the parts of us that hurt the most. And ultimately, it's community that frees those feelings of shame, guilt, and regret. So consider this the mic. This is a shame-free zone. This is all love. And also, if you don't want to go there, absolutely cool too.
I'll
Ab-
be brave.
Oh, yeah, Cheryl.
Yeah, I just, I do have a lot of shadow work and I've been working on things lately and a lot of it is around, the things that my kids are struggling with and the tools that I wasn't able to give them to work through things and the places where I fall short, like all of the clutter in my life. If you look behind me, you can see that I have a lot of stuff everywhere. And even when I'm organized, I just have a lot of stuff. I've been, for the last few weeks, I've been doing some really deep purging of things, but it happens on all levels. It's not just the stuff, it's also emotional baggage that I've been holding on to for a really long time and trying to let go of. And the stories that we tell ourselves that limit us from moving forward and they get stuck in our bodies in physical ways. And so I'm like working to release those things and not be so hard on myself because it's all truth, but it's whatever truth you choose to be focused on. And if you focus on the negatives or the feelings of guilt and shame, where you're not feeling worthy of things, you don't allow the change to happen. So, I'm just trying to let go of those negative stories, but you have to bring them out in the light and clean them up before you can figure out what they are. So, yeah, I've had a couple of weeks of a lot of deep shadow work, and this is helpful.
Thank you for naming that, being with them and bringing them out. I really, really love that. And right, it's like it's those isolating energies that make us feel alone often when other people experience the same things. And if they don't, they also can hold space and compassion for that experience. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone here on the train for always being a safe space for sharing.
Mm. We love those safe spaces, sacred spaces.
So, one of the things I did not say when I was invited to introduce myself is that I am here, and you can't really see the mountains, but I'm living in Ojai, California, and like living on this kind of renting a house that's part of a large property. But right next door is a school that Krishnamurti started, the Oak Grove School. And the Oak Grover he would speak is right there. And just something that from tuning in and listening and looking where he would point at, and everything you're saying, Martley, about, and sorry, I want to say her name.
Sarah? Is it,
Yeah.
how do you pronounce it?
My name is Shara.
Shara. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
that
you.
part, like you're saying, like the feelings of guilt and the feelings of isolation and all that, and then this, like the recognition, and this is that part of the self, right? Like we think it's all like this kind of like these are all these terrible things that are me, my life, what I did or didn't do, and then like the recognition, like that as a human, as humanity, as a human species, like the conditioning goes so much further back than just, but we have, I know for myself, I started with this idea of like, I'm looking at the conditions of me and the conditions of my life, my family, my parents, but really like the way that our brains work and this kind of like this conundrum that we find ourselves in on the planet is like it's like thousand, it's so old and it's so collective. And then that, so that part of, oh, right, like self-compassion, and just, yeah, that part of really learning to look and also recognize like, oh, right, all of us are sitting at the in the present moment of a collective experience.
But we're not always in the present moment. We're living from our stories of the past or our fear of the future. And um I don't know, it's that willingness to look. I know like whenever I do deep cleaning in my house, I notice so many things that I've been ignoring that I just like turn a blind eye to because I don't have the time to deal with it in the moment. And then I feel this urgency to deal with absolutely all of it. And then I feel overwhelmed. And sometimes that will stop me from even moving forward. So I have to just look at it like, okay, here's the one thing I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes, and that's all I'm going to look at. And then I'll decide 10 minutes later if I'm going to do more or if I'm going to do something else. But like sometimes it's that macro micro. Sometimes you have to look at the big picture to figure out your next step. And sometimes you just need to make the next step and then the rest will follow.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And one of the reasons I'm sitting outside is because I have all this clutter. Yeah.
I also, Shara, to your point, I love working with astrology and things like human design and tools to sort of give context to the cosmic blueprint of the exact thumbprint of the moment that you're born and the way that every single planet, is energetically imparting a wisdom on you, and how not only is it about strengths, but it's about having deep compassion for the things that might be challenging. And that, just how special it is that every single one of us is so unique, and that can give, make space for compassion and unconditional self-love for the things that maybe others are a little stronger at.
So true. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Brittany, I loved your comment. My last slide, even though I'm not going to put it up, it just says, do we receive what we believe?
Yeah, it was interesting. I noticed that when I went into self, it was like really easy inside of this group, inside of this space. I know that's where like I find a lot of richness in the work that I do is, kind of if I focus on myself in a certain way within community, then I can stay out of my own way enough to stay present, and then I can maybe tackle these other areas of the other and money and this and that. So I spent what I thought was just like a little bit of time with the self, and I thought, oh, that was like a nice check-in. I've been keeping up with myself, right? And then I moved into money and I started off being like, yeah, I do this all the time. And then you were like, 10 minutes is up. I was just like, there's no way. And it was so interesting. I mean, I didn't write a lot, but it was just interesting to see just how my perspective shifted so quickly. And one of the things that stood out to me um, is that I said, I'm still working to align things I feel with things I want to believe. So it's like this, like almost, there's often in trauma, I find this like unwillingness to fully claim what we believe, you know what I mean? Because in the past that might have led to something traumatic. And so I know that's true for me. But there's still like this, yeah, the invitation and the experience of getting to see that I'm holding both, and that there's work happening there. So it was like really interesting.
I love that. And I did some work around money last summer, and the healer I was working with basically kind of said that I had some of my challenges around judgment of people that have a lot of wealth actually didn't come from this lifetime. And then I went to Peru and did ayahuasca with my girl Erin. And the very first thing I saw was me dying at the bottom of the Titanic as a man, as like a young man, being locked in because there weren't enough boats and like drowned.
Mm.
So it's wild, and I know not everyone's belief system encompasses multiple lives or that type of space. It's like one of my favorite things to talk about, but um I also just like, I think that I feel like there's so much context to the unseen and what we can carry in our bodies and like our wisdom, just like Jerry's flute speaks to the indigeneity that lives in me. Like, what else lives in me, you know? And also, I just want to open the floor contextually. If anyone just wants to share anything about their day, where they're at, checking in, if shadow doesn't feel like the right conversation, this is an open, safe space for any type of sharing.
Can I share, Marley?
Please.
So I didn't really know, but I kind of knew. Like I was starting to awake. I had a dark. Did my camera's go off? Oh, um, that's weird. You
Yeah.
disabled Marley. You disabled it.
No, we talked about that yesterday. Just a little interference.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh.
anyways, I had a dark whatever. I had a dark night of the soul in November of 2024, and like it literally was shedding weight. My face, everything was just completely different and quickly. And people were that had did not see me for like 30 days were like, "Whoa." Like, have you like just ate a head of lettuce for the last 30 days? And like I just told them it was like from surfing and wearing wetsuits. Anyways, where I'm going with this is I am learning, and through Marley yesterday's shadow is I thought I didn't know. Like I didn't know you could die 1,000 times over, right? I was new to it. So I was like, oh, I'm out. Like I'm out. I did it. Cool. Made it through. Everything is good. And then, I'm using air quotes here. Damn it, I wish my camera was on. They pull me back in, right? They got me again, and it took me back down to the bottom of the lake, and It was really, really hard and dark and very scary. And I definitely was not enjoying the life experience in this current body with my current name. So, where I'm going to that is, but because of gifts of people and my daughter really is the reason of why. But I mean, the reason why staying on the planet was important. But then diving deeper to figure out why is all this happening, and again the shadow work is like almost looking at it from as soul looking at the body. I find it comical, now this is where I'm landing the plane. I find it comical that somebody, me, spent so many years thinking that I was winning these battles, and like I was telling you, and like playing in their sandbox, but the entire time I was losing. They wrote me back. They, the old mafia. They wrote me back in. Like they got me. And so today, and like yesterday and today in the lake, I was like, I started laughing at that old shadow, that old version. Like, you dumbass, how could you think for that long that you were winning in this space, but like really the entire time, like you were wildly losing? Sorry, Marley, I know about words, but I had to speak. I still got street in me a little bit. It's slowly getting out. But anyways, I just wanted to share about that shadow, and like I see it and I'm really, really paying attention to it. And I think I got it understood, but I realize not out of the woods ever, because again, can die 1,000 times over. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Billy. I love your fire. And just the observer perspective of being able to kind of zoom out on being so close to what happens to us in this life, this version of ourselves, and how deeply felt it can be, especially when we're up so close to it. Did anyone else find discomfort or find, I guess, realization around the shadow? Or are people like, please God, let this shadow portion be over. We want to get to the next thing. I did think about doing like a dance party too, because yeah, it's so often what we run from and what our wounds are that are the lead to liberation, but the process and those dark nights of the soul and that repetition is really hard. It's really hard. But it's amazing to have community like this to be able to be witnessed in.
Yeah, I'd like to just chime in a little bit. I've been experiencing dark night after dark night after dark night. I feel like I've been under the magnifying glass, and I live out in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico, and I'm 6 months postpartum, and my husband he just got a new job, and we share a car, so I've been stranded out here, an hour away from everything, and it's almost like there's nowhere to run. I can't do anything to hide. The only community I have is through this computer screen. Thank you, everybody. and and I've been integrating this trip that I took in 2018 still, and it comes back to me often, where I smoked a little bit of hallucinogen, and I turned into a great big golden dragon. There was so much power and so much excitement, and like, whoa, I can't even explain how good it felt to be this dragon. And then at the end of it, I had to climb back into my tiny little dying body. And I was so disgusted. I was like, oh, I have to get back into that body. It's so sick and tired and traumatized. And how am I going to fit all of this back into that little thing? So I don't know. I feel like that dragon is always inside of me. And when I believe in it, that power comes back. But then some of the stories that I tell myself, I have to fit back inside this little dying body. And it's like this constant battle between the two. And it's really interesting. Like I like how Ali said a lot of the shares have been about integration. Because I've been integrating this for a long time. But and it's still kind of like shining through here and there. But yeah, I just want to be the dragon, and I just want to get out of the way so I can shine like that. But getting rid of the stories is it's a lot of work. And I feel like I'm getting there through all of this magnifying glass and looking at myself so deeply. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to share that. So thanks for listening.
I personally absolutely love that share, just like every other share. And man, the dragon energy speaks to me deeply, deeply. It sounds like a beautiful gift. And also, right, like the beautiful push and pull of the human experience. Very contextually different than the golden dragon. Well, and maybe not, it's your beautiful journey. Wow. Does anyone want to respond to that or share what they're integrating?
I can share just like one line that I just noticed that I thought was really cool because it keeps coming up again and again in so many conversations, this idea of like stereotypes and how they're different than archetypes. And as I was thinking about not just money, but the relationships that I have with people who have a lot of money, one, I don't I don't have like, the first thing that came to mind is like, well, they mostly don't know I exist. You know what I mean? So why am I, if we want to think about it in terms of relationships, so it was a real like heart opening, eye opening, like it was a reality check, right? But all that to say, I said where once stood a flat stereotype now spins a sphere to explore. I have discovered certain power with choice and agency in relationships. So again and again, just like for me, it's about coming back to center, but through like even in saying that, like I don't want to imply like too much stillness because there's that return that's always happening, of returning to center. So yeah, just challenging these like sort of flat, sort of, it's almost like this platonic metaphor, like we cast these shadows on the wall to scare ourselves, but it's like not even close to the reality of the thing. And when we really just like dare ourselves to, I'm like thinking Finding Nemo in the back of my head, like touch the butt. Just go out there and touch it and see what happens. Like take an adventure with life, start a dance.
Hmm.
I love that. I just could listen to the dragon part, right? This thing of balance, like of yin and yang, and inhale and exhale, and how like the two dragons, like dragons are in all like culturally, right? So many different places. And it's like, yeah, like inhaling in the dragon, the energy of the universe, into what? Oh, the dying body. And then exhaling. But every breath on some level, I love that you said that, Brittany, but it's like on some level we are breathing in the dragon with every breath and we are dying with every exhale, because the last breath was part of the first one that we ever took. And like the beauty of really just landing in that, like we come in, we inhale, when we're done, we exhale every breath in between. But on some level, that last breath was already there. The minute we arrived here, that last exhale is like here. But the dragon, yeah, like we can have that. And I think I didn't have the same kind of language, but when I was talking about like feeling that, like breathing in the energy that is animating this form, even though the form's temporary, the form that what animates it are two different parts of the same thing. It really just kind of like playing in that field of, oh yeah, yes, and yes.
I also, in many groups, different groups, I'm hearing about dragon energy awakening almost, and earth dragon energy. I mean, there's multiple people in the last couple months. So I just love, Brittany, you're kind of one of the early birthers of the dragon in this context, maybe. We've been going through, like, I know Chance, Spirited Serenity has had, in our community, has had a big relationship to dragon energy in the previous couple months. So you're not alone in your dragonness. Yes, Shara, beautiful. Well, how's everyone feeling? Do we want, oops, I'm muted. Do we want to continue on this journey, or do we want to, ooh, Kyra's feeling the rainbow dragon and a metal dragon in the Chinese zodiac. Yeah, I think it's really interesting that more ancient Eastern cultures have always embraced, and even in so many indigenous cultures hold very strong connection to dragon energy, and that in our Western world, it's not very prevalent. I wouldn't say. I just want to ask, do people feel like a dance? Do people feel like shaking it and doing something a little different? Do we want to be in silence? Do you want to continue to see what emerges? Hi, Jeffrey. Welcome, welcome.
Nobody has any preferences whatsoever.
We're in a chill Friday flow.
Yeah, it is so nice. And honestly, like how many, like, yeah, this is something I could talk to you about. Just like the importance of third spaces, and like how rarely there's like unplanned time in gatherings, you know? And sometimes it feels like you're floundering, but sometimes, maybe that's exactly what wants to happen. It's just like, yeah, just like a little bit of a waiting or whatever. Yeah, it's always nice in my opinion.
Yeah, this like silence years ago would have made me just absolutely sweat, but now I actually really love it. I think there's plenty of room for silence.
I think as a society culturally, we have gotten so overstimulated with all of the screens and technology and our cell phones and everything that we've forgotten about, a lot. No, I don't mean each individual, but as a large group, we forget how to quiet our minds, how to shut it off, how to just be comfortable with the silences.
Yeah. And I just find, as a room full of creatives, it's in the silence for me that the creativity flows.
And I want to honor the web. Like there's so much already in being able to sit. Like the web was constructed, but just sitting then with this web of values, like seeing it, seeing energy dancing in it. There's just to me, there's just like a lot of richness of being with the web before, letting it do its thing.
Thank you, Jerry. Brittany, I really want to honor you as a mother and where you're at. I know personally that the deep, deep, deep wells of respect for that journey and postpartum, and it is such a beautiful, vulnerable, and sacred space. So just witnessing you in all of the spectrum.
I feel called to share again. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking a lot. I hope that other people know there's space for them too. But I just was thinking something I said earlier about like going into those dark places and polishing up those shadows. It's like when you have a nightmare in the dream, it can feel like the most horrible thing. But when you come out and if you journal like I do, when you write about it, it can completely change in the light of day and be like, oh, why was I afraid of that? That's no big deal. So it's like how we look at those shadow things, if we bring them out into the light and we sit with them, they may not be monsters anymore. Or at least we can make our peace with them and find out how to befriend them and how to use them toward our goals rather than against our goals, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think shadow, it's very much along the lines of grief and death, It's culturally and societally not been uplifted as something that is beautiful to do in community. And so, yeah, I think all of this work is not necessarily work that we're used to doing comfortably on our own, let alone comfortably together. Thank you, Brittany. Really appreciate you.
I can share a little bit. Marley, you were saying like, what are you integrating now? And I've just organized a party for more than 140 people, a 24-hour psytrance party that I host twice a year here. And it is kind of a volunteer thing that I do for the community for more than 10 years now. And it is really interesting like how the ritual happened and how the energy transformation happened as the natural time goes, like as the night, the day becomes night and the night becomes day and then day becomes night. And it's really interesting how the energy flows, and there is a lot of integration of shadows, and each participant can do that consciously, but I believe that a lot of them do them unconsciously for sure. And this is like one of the reasons that they go to that event and why they stay the 24 hours there dancing. So it was really interesting to see this, and this was the biggest event that we host on July. Usually the biggest ones are in January for more than 200 people. And well, it's really interesting to see this flow of the constellation that comes together and the transformation that happens through this. So yeah,
Wow.
I've been integrating this in the moment. Yeah.
First of all, like, congratulations and wow, what stewardship to be volunteering to coordinate all that. That's a lot of work and it sounds incredible. I want to go.
Yes, please. Next one is January 16, 2027. And will be the 20th edition of the experimental psychosis.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Where's it at?
It is in Conceição dos Gatos, state of Bahia, Brazil.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're all invited.
Oh my gosh. We need the formal link to sign up. Wow, that's
Just,
so
just
cool.
come. Just
But
come.
also, like, I love that you are so in sync with witnessing the energy of that exploration and the shadow integration and how you can witness it through music, through light, through day, through time. What a cool and amazing experience. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it is now very intentional actually, and through the sound and the dance, and like, the nighttime, you're inside, and you can see that people feel this, and people come to us and share also their experience. So it's really nice.
Wow, incredible. Thank you for sharing, Marina.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing this to the Vision Train. It's been amazing.
Allie, I saw you coming back on. You want to take the mic?
I'm just sensing into, yeah, it's been a whirlwind of energy this week, and I'm here on 3 hours of sleep, so I'm using the off camera liberally for a live stream. I try to be on a little bit more, so I just know that we've only got a few minutes dedicated left in this segment, and so I would just like to if give the floor to anyone else while we have the time. If there's anything else anybody wants to share and reflect back to Marley. It's just always a joy to spend time with you, my friend, and to have you on the train is an extra treat. You guys didn't have to know this, but I reached out to Marley at the beginning of this week and I was like, Marley, please. And she was like, let me think about it. Yes. And it was just the most beautiful. I love that this place is a real place for friendship and co-creation and spontaneity in the best and worst of times. So, yeah.
So, Ali, I'll just, what a wonderful synergy. So, I don't know if you did another journaling thing, Marley, but during number two, I fell asleep laying on my back on my yoga mat. And I have been out, I don't even know how long it's been. I have no idea. And I just kind of like woke up and you all were still in my ears. So, like, there was talking happening, but I was sleeping. And it was amazing. I needed it so badly because I've gone pretty hard this week myself, and it's been really gratifying, wonderful week of progression. So, so thanks for helping me fall asleep. I don't know, really weird because it's afternoon here, but perfect time for a nap. So yeah, that was kind of great actually.
Okay, I'm not going to put that on my resume, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and put on very calming voice.
So it was during the silence actually. It was during that journaling because the first one I just did some kind of like gentle yoga and like stretching, and then the second one I did like something similar, and I was like, I'm just gonna lay down on my back for a few minutes, and
Oh,
now here I am talking to
that was
you.
when Jerry came back and started playing the flute again. That's what happened.
Oh well, I never heard the flute. Okay, wow. Well, man, I guess I did. Some part of me did, somewhere in me.
And I would
So
say
yeah, no,
totally
Marley, it was
put.
not your session that put me to sleep. It was the quiet, actually, is what did it, which is great.
And I would say totally put it on your resume. It's everything that we were talking about throughout that time, you know, it's like the permission to be still, to enjoy the silence, to be held by whatever is there to hold us. And especially when we've taken the time to like create this beautiful web and this weaving that we keep, talking about. It just feels like, and I know I've been the person in like these really sacred spaces, to fall asleep. And there is this idea that like as a facilitator, one, maybe I was not engaging enough, or as a participant, oh no, like that's such like so rude of me, but I don't know, it's almost becoming normalized in a lot of the spaces that I'm a part of, where it's really about listening to the body and letting it respond, and communicating, like let that person know, like, that you totally received something amazing from, like, I thought that was beautiful to witness. And thank you for your candor, Chance. And I know you guys are great friends, so I know Marley is playfully responding with what she said, but just to point to that.
Yeah, totally. I don't have a resume at all.
You do have, I do
Let's
want to take the time to mention, and I've got your links and we can drop them in the chat. But if you want to stay in touch with Marley or Jerry, I've got those links for you in the Mighty Networks on the trips, and I can pop them in the chat here. And Marley, I've got a stunning website and a beautiful podcast, and so many things. And Jerry, are your flutes sort of still available, or how is that?
Allie,
Yes.
just really quick, I just want to say to anybody who is looking to clear especially big amounts of energy, Marley Finnegan is the one. Like she's I'm sorry, Marley, but just reach out. That's all. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just highly recommending it from somebody that is taking in gratitude. I'm saying this in much love. I'm like getting super emotional, taking full advantage of this human being and everything that she provides. So that's all. Thanks, Allie. Appreciate you. Obviously appreciate you, Mar.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate you. Thanks, everyone. This has been amazing. And honestly, I feel so beautiful and happy about this experience. And I hope that it was anything that you were looking to receive. Um, and thank you again. And appreciate the train and the vision and all that this is intends and is. So thanks, Allie, for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. And it was such a pleasure. And then, yeah, like I said, I would love to know just before we move into the momentum report, and we'll probably take a short break, I think. But Jerry, is there anywhere in this time where you could point people, or anything that you're looking for, anything at all? I'm so interested, and you already know, in talking to you more about I Ching, talking to you more about human design, talking to you more about your process of creating the flutes and how you select, I've got endless curiosity for you, my dear. But as far as the others, where to point them, or,
I think if
where to
there's
find you.
an openness, then maybe just be like, I'll just try to keep coming back in here for a minute.
Yeah.
I have
And
enough.
you're in the Mighty Networks, so I don't know if folks are in the Mighty Networks, they can find Jerry there and make a personal connection. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, yeah, that space
Awesome.
isn't really
Thank
built,
you
but if I
so
come here,
much, both of you, for being here today. Hmm. Wow. And yeah, everybody on the live stream, if there's anybody out there, we've still got a strong crew on the train. We're going 15 deep, and we've still got hours to go in this journey. You can find the links to join us on visiontrain.org. You're always welcome. Vision Train on this track. This Zoom call has been running 24/7, available to artists since 2020. It's really incredible. And we will definitely tell you a little bit more about that and the Vision Train ecosystem and our fundraiser right now that's going on, gathering momentum. After maybe, what do you think, Marina? A little 5-minute break? I know
Yes.
we're like maybe, it's time to start, but I think we got time to take a break. I could maybe use a glass of water.
Yes, maybe we do a 6 minutes break and we'll be back at 10 minutes after. Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds good to
Yeah.
me. Thanks,
Yes.
guys. And we're back.
Hi.
Hi. How do you think it's going, Engineer
Wow.
Marina?
It's really nice. I feel so lucky to be able to be present during these gatherings because to be live here it is different than like watching the recordings.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and the richness of the shares sometimes, like, you guys know I'm from Brazil, English not my first language, so my brain kind of function slower. So yeah, I feel like, wow, how can I share something interesting when this everyone is sharing like so much code?
Oh man, I that just like put it in perspective though for me too, because I already know that you're a genius and you speak all these languages and you travel the world and you make all this art and everything. But yeah, if this is you thinking and speaking slowly, holy cow, I couldn't keep up with you in Portuguese.
Yeah, it's interesting. And like even like writing the values, writing the shadow work, writing the beliefs, this comes in English as well. It doesn't
Really?
come, yeah, I don't write in Portuguese. Yeah, the question is in English, I answer in English. Something
It's
like that.
if the question.
No,
Okay.
I can ask myself the same question in Portuguese, but it works like this. Yeah,
Yeah, is
most
it
of the
all
time.
we're gonna talk about this more sometime in the future because I have many questions. My dad is born and raised in South Africa, and we've had many conversations about like the different, dreaming. What do you mean you dream in English? Yeah, sure, it's in here,
Yes, sure.
like,
Yes,
yeah,
it happens. It's
yeah,
weird, but it happens. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the part I guess that we are gonna do, and we've been doing this every Friday since we started gathering momentum. This is the third week, so we've been going at it for 2 full weeks. And we did our Friday launch 2 weeks ago, and then last week we did it as part of our Friday art jam, this gathering momentum report. So this is just for people, especially as they're coming across the live stream, or for us to be able to share with people who like don't know a lot about the Vision Train to really get an idea. And honestly, for people that are part of the Vision Train, there's always so much happening and so many ways to get involved and so many paths you can take to do that. So it's a way of us showing you everything that we've built in the Vision Train ecosystem, everything that we're gathering through the fundraiser week to week, and to just keep us, yeah, like we were talking about earlier at the start of this trip, like having these rhythms to return to is like very helpful, especially as artists when there's a smorgasbord in front of us all the time.
Yes, I'm
So, what do
excited.
you want to start with? Do you want to start with something fun, like the videos maybe, or do you want to start with more of the report? Get that, not out of the way,
Well,
because
so let's start with the what we gather from these critical mass gatherings, conversions that we have. We had a lot of these gatherings already. This is the third one, well, the fourth one, but the third ones after the anniversary, and we had so many good shares. Like I said, I am excited to get on these recordings and get the nuggets from this and put it out to the world because it is so precious. It is so valuable. For me, I feel like the Vision Train is a well of goodness, like an infinite well of goodness that we can have and we can share it to the world. And I have selected here like a few videos from our YouTube channel. My friends, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe, watch the videos, like and share. I will share just a few ones now, and you can go and select your own. We have like a lot of playlists, and soon to add one more playlist of the Vision Train Writer channel's videos. I'm excited to bring that also to the channel. Like we had so many artists, so yeah, let's share there. And here we have the latest video that we share. It is from Josephine. She was here. I believe I didn't share my sound. So she was here and she was also in the previous critical mass gathering and she shared this. Are you listening? No? What's happening? I know what's happening. Now you guys will be able to listen. Yeah.
And I think with adults, we can get inhibited and more blocked because we start more self-judgment starts coming in. And that's why I think the train is so valuable, because since I've been on the vision train, my art producing has gone up exponentially. And that's through the experience of having these kind individuals that are like your greatest cheerleaders and support, and people that will give you feedback and just be, just there for you really in different phases that you're in with different circumstances in life. So I think it's been, truly a very, very valuable tool indeed.
It is indeed. Thank you so much, Josephine. What an incredible share. And I will just watch this one here.
I'm always excited to learn more about everybody and everything. And I believe that's the curiosity that runs everything. That the curiosity is where the magic lives. Don't you think so? Don't you guys think so? Yeah, you get curious about something and then you get inspired and then you have an experience or whatever it is. And everybody has a gift for everybody. Everybody has a unique contribution to make. And that's what's so exciting about being with people that already know that. And so basically the work I developed is called Inner Resonance Technologies, because we have everything within us. And, speaking of technology, we are, the body is a quantum supercomputer. It is a piece of
and just this one, it is really quick.
And I would encourage all of you to get out there with your personal expressions and paint and draw and depict whatever the hell you want and not worry about what society thinks. Just be yourself and be brave and bold and fearless. They can't really do anything to you. Take your stuff and make it and spread it around the world.
Choo choo. So yeah, these 3 short videos happened during a critical mass gathering. And well, even Maureen said in her video that everyone has a gift for everyone. So yeah, these are like the little gifts that we put out here on the Vision Train. Like we give to the Vision Train, like to the community. Each of us, we do this like naturally when we are here, when we are sharing with our presence. Yeah, so this is really like truly amazing to put it out there.
Yeah, and I mean, even just speaking as like the people that are putting it out there, it's like going into just one recording and seeing how many little bits of wisdom you can pull out of just like one recording, and then to see them side by side in this way and creating this arc. I was about to cry if we kept going. I mean, it's just so good, like to weave these threads of just like little truth nuggets, you know what I mean? And people like Maureen was saying, so good to be in spaces where people really are resonating on these things, and there is a consistent theme here that like it is possible that what we're trying to accomplish, especially this coming out of like the tradition of Buckminster Fuller and the Design Science Studio, and making like creating the new systems that make the old ones obsolete, and not through competition, but through co-opetition and art making. So it's really a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is truly indeed that it's only possible through like each one of us doing like what we do, being us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If we could just accept that more and more every day, that feels like, my lesson right now is just every day, just, yeah, yeah. So unnatural in our culture to be like, yeah, I'm enough. It's not arrogant. Like, just that's not even close to arrogant. We haven't even gotten to like, a healthy self-image yet. Just like, I'm enough. And we make sure to remind each other of that here on the train.
Yes, and it's amazing that we can get together, that we can put this call out for people to come together with us to have this experience and also to share their own gifts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was so amazing. Like, yeah, this fundraiser is also causing me, and the process of editing and putting the stuff out, it's all causing me to really look at and be so much more thankful for everything we have, everything we've created. I was looking at like how many hours of trips do we have on the schedule right now? It was like easily over 40 hours just in one week of trips that conductors who volunteer to be conductors, they receive free training, access to the archive, they have become a part of this beautiful community, but they volunteer their time to be a part of the nonstop global art jam on this free track that's always been free to artists since for 6 years running. Over 40 hours of shared time that is being just like volunteered, donated, given freely by these conductors, just as you know, this is their natural gift to the world, just because of what you're saying, that this is what else would they rather do with their time? They're all just like thrilled to be here and be together. And it's just so honestly, DSS uses the little term evolutionary, but with the R in front of it, and not to be revolutionary again in a way that is combative, but I keep thinking about the revolution of planets, celestial bodies, like spheres in motion in harmony with one another. So I don't know, so much is coming up.
Yeah,
See if we can talk about fundraising and numbers without being boring.
And this feels like a natural flow, like you said, the evolution. It is a natural flow. The evolution. It isn't a natural flow, like it is natural. So yeah, how we are in small groups doing this revolution.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the more the merrier. You're always welcome aboard. There's so many ways to get involved on the Vision Train. Do you want to take them onto the website this week with the Gathering Momentum report? Or I don't know what we have time for. We still got a bit of time. I think we're good till the top of the hour, really. And we make the rules here.
I will share the web page now and we can lead from that. I just need to get it correct here. Here we are. The Vision Train webpage. And here you can find a lot of information about the Vision Train project. You can go here and know about the Vision Train, the visions, the conductors that are volunteer, the engineers, the sponsor. You can go to contact. Here you can find the information about the critical mass, the gathering momentum. Here it is how to join the Vision Train. And here is the membership information, here the workshops, and we even have another one coming. Yeah, the events and the exhibitions. And here in the community tab, you can find the projects of the Vision Train. This is the Vision Train drawing project and the daily visions. And here on the stations, you can find all the stations that the Vision Train it is broadcast. So we have the Zoom call where we gather. We have the Mighty Network where we post the trips, and that is the schedule, and that is different sections, the membership sections, the workshop sections, and many others. And here on the YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and comment on the Vision Train YouTube channel. And we also have our Instagram, that's amazing. You can find a lot of information and news about the Vision Train there on the Facebook as well. We also have a SoundCloud where we have updated playlists weekly with a lot of new sets and music. And we have also a Twitch channel where we stream our lives. And we are gathering in real life local station, and this is to become even bigger.
Yeah, soon we'll have your place in Bahia there, and I'll have a place on there, and more pop-up stations for sure. And we did have some really cool pop-up events on the schedule this week. I know Nina hosted an in-person gathering and shared it with the schedule, so those are happening all the time, more and more. It's really exciting. This was born out of 2020. We were all in lockdown and we had to find a way to stay connected. But it's remained what a lot of these communities, that were born in that time in this way, sort of, people went back to their new normals and things changed, but somehow the train, it's gone through its iterations, but it's stayed on the tracks this whole time, and it definitely doesn't seem like it's slowing down now because we're gathering momentum.
Yes, we are
Do
gathering
you want to, I
momentum.
think, let's go back to the workshop. We have a workshop coming up just this weekend, right? It's this coming Saturday.
Yes. This coming Saturday, we are having this live online workshop with Amanda Sage, called it Embodied Vision, Drawing and Painting the Human Form. I am so excited for this offering. Amanda said that this is like a unique offering where she will explain how to create the human form, and that is even a tutorial of how she made this painting. You can get access to this tutorial when you purchase the course, and you can purchase the course here on this button, and you go to the Mighty Network and you will have access to the course. And if you are a Vision Train Express member, there is a code of discount that you can find on the feed of the Vision Train Express member, and I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, because I mean, this is incredible value. It's a full 8-hour day workshop and also a live review in the end. So I think it's 3 weeks later or something like that, right? And I mean,
Yes.
the last one that they did, everyone just had the most amazing time. We couldn't stop. I wasn't a part of it, but the Mighty Networks, everybody was talking about it for several weeks afterwards. And just, yeah, the other thing is that she's just been so generous between she recently did her art auction, and with the previous workshop, and now with this one, she's donating so much of the proceeds to the Vision Train. And I mean, yeah, I don't. It's really touching, to see that somebody, this is definitely her baby, she was painting eggs and dreaming of the train for years, and it's just good to be able to work through it together, but to see her be so generous is really inspiring, and so I just want to support everything that she's doing right now. It's really amazing.
Yeah, Chuchu, Amanda, thank you so much for creating this. We are so grateful. And there is even more workshops available here on the Vision Train. And you can find the link here. There is Paint a Star that's available. And yeah, soon to come much more. So stay tuned.
Amazing. Yeah, it's really just grown and evolved so much from, the Zoom room and then the trips and then the events and then the new web page and critical mass and yeah, but this is the main hub. Marina has made it so. You have done so much for us just to create this where it feels beautiful, it feels easy to walk through. And I was telling Kim earlier this week, you skim while you swim, just take a sip at a time. Don't feel like you have to take it all in and remember it all at once. Just the main things are to remember, or where to find the Zoom room at all times, get yourself a little account on the Mighty Network so you can stay plugged in if that feels your speed. And otherwise, this is always here for you with everything you need.
Choo choo! Yes, the train it is something that you can sip at your will. So yeah, choose your own adventure and let's get creative.
Including sponsors. I would like to, yeah, shout out to our future sponsors of Critical Mass. We've been running these convergences for several months, and we're really proud of what we've created. And we just know that there's people out here that see the value of what we're doing and want to continue to see these happen. We want to be able to bring in more and more guests in the coming months, and we know we will, but how great would it be to be able to give something back to those artists to support? So we're hoping to do that and through critical mass sponsorship, and then through that learning process to also be able to offer that kind of sponsorship to our own conductors and recurring trips on the Vision Train track. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. It's always a good way for me to practice. This is all new for us too. So we're exploring, we're open to co-creating these sponsorships and different things. So all of that information is also there and our inboxes are open. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love looking at everything we've made. It's great.
Yes, you can find all the information here on this website, and also you can reach out with like what comes to you when you think about this. The Vision Train, it is something like you can shape shift it into your offering. So yeah, what do you have to offer?
And then this page also, oh, there's the weekly themes. Yep. I'm excited. I keep letting myself forget where we're going because I want to stay with, the one that we're in, but it's always nice to get a sneak peek ahead. And then this page does link right back to the Mighty Cause page. Do you want to show them where to find that? This is the magical, magical link that we want you guys all to be sharing with all your friends and neighbors, anybody that believes that the arts are worth funding. I really don't think that we're asking for a lot, right? I think this is the magic number. This is exactly what we need to get us through this year and into next year, following the momentum that we've set with this big expansion, and we don't want to lose that, right? So we raised over $17,000 with Light Up the Tracks, and you guys can see all the good work that we've done with that, and we want to continue to do that and frankly do even more, and that's going to take resources. So we've shared a lot of the strategy and the thing that this money will go towards supporting. And a lot of that is just the continued stewardship of everything that we've already gathered, and being able to do good in the world with that and to empower more artists in what they're already doing. So it's really a continuation of what we've built since day one, staying true to that core essence. And so, yeah, please, everyone on the train, I was thinking about it every time I put out the newsletter, it's such an honor to have, I can send out an email and it goes to over 2,700 people, just me. Like, who am I? It feels not, it feels really nice to know that I'm using that for something like this. And if, if each of you gave just $10, we'd reach our goal in a week. It's really cool when I start to, it sounds hokey on a level, maybe. Sure, it's like harkening back to the telethon days of old. But there's something really sweet when I stop and think about the moment that we're in and the opportunity that we have to really take what is important to us and take what we already have and to make that work in a new way. And I really think that if we work together through gathering momentum, that is one way that we can do that. And I promise this money will definitely be well spent. So please donate, please share the links. And Marina is beautifully displayed. There's also the sponsorship opportunity that we mentioned. There's also becoming a member and the shop.
Can
The
I
shop
ask a
is,
question about so if you donate through that link, it's tax deductible, correct?
yes, those
Oh,
through
but
Mighty Cause because we have
okay.
fiscal
Oh no, I'm
sponsorship.
realizing now that it wouldn't matter. I was gonna say like, but there's a value to the Mighty Network. Um, so it's not tax deductible if I'm just thinking about subscriptions, whether if someone subscribed at an annual thing, you're saying that's separate from, or that goes into that 33,000?
Well, the
Does it
nice
all get
thing is,
does it all get aggregated?
Um, well, I don't know if I can get into all of that, but every dollar that comes into the Vision Train through the next 6 weeks is going to be counted toward our goal of
Okay.
$33,333. So if that's what you're asking, but the one thing I will say too is that what you're talking about is if you go to Mighty Cause and you want to, for example, our sustainer membership is $222 a year, and that is a discount because we offer it at $22 a month. So if you're someone that wants to purchase a membership for a year, you can actually go and do that through Mighty Cause.
Okay.
You can just make a donation of $222 and we'll grant you a year of free Express
That's what I
membership.
wanted to know, because that seems like a
Yeah, so
really great way to
you'll
boost.
get that as a perk in that if you visit the website, we tried to make that clear. But
Okay.
yeah, when you go to donate, you'll see right under $222 that says that you'll get a year free membership on the Vision Express.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry. All right. Any other questions while we've taken a little pause? I know again, I'm always throwing it all at you guys. I got the spaghetti. I'm seeing walls. No. Oh, we're in the shop. I'm so excited because I know what's coming, but it's already so good.
Yes. So the shop also is one way that you can help the vision train. You can purchase something in the shop, and the net will come to the vision train, gathering momentum. And here you can find really interesting merch. I have my mug here, and it's really beautiful and black and shiny, and I love it. And I also got some t-shirt, and I got a patch and the vision train notebook. It is so incredible. I even have two, but one is from the vision train, and I even have like one really similar, but it's not from the vision train, but I love more the vision train one. It is so nice, this merch, and we will have more. Yes, as Ali was saying, we start an affiliate program with the Vision Train artists, and the art from the Vision Train writers will come and become merchandise here in the shop, so you can purchase a print from an artwork of a vision train writer. This is so interesting, like we can put out even the vision train writers artwork now through the vision train shop and make it out to the world. I'm excited for that.
I'm super excited. I feel like, like, yeah, like it's a surprise party because I've seen some of these designs and Marina, and I'm just like, I can't wait. I want it to be right now. Can we just, no, I know we can't yet. Not yet. Not yet. We're doing our due diligence. And just so you artists out there know, we have a form you can fill out if you want to be a part of future releases. This release is now curated, but the invitation remains open. But yeah, it's open to any artist to be a part of this shop. So I don't know, there's so many more reasons to be excited as we continue to expand. I also wanted to respond to Brian's question in the chat. He asked, "Does Vision Train a nonprofit? What business form are we recognized as?" We are still a single owner LLC. Amanda Sage is the founder and owner of the Vision Train. We do work with a lot of independent contractors, such as Marina and myself. And then we operate also fiscally sponsored by the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. So that's how we're able to receive tax deductible donations on the Vision Train. So if that answers anyone's questions. All right, where are we now? Oh, time machine. It's like so cool. There's so much here. This is for sponsors. Um, yeah, do you want to talk about you put this page together, Marina? You've got a little bit of a better grasp probably than I do, but it's a reiteration of basically what I was saying in so many ways.
Yes, yes, it is. Now
These
just
are Alex and Allison Gray are the founders of the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. I'm excited. I'm going to be there for the very first time at the end of October. I'm going for Demons and Deities. I'm going to see you all there. Choo choo. I'm very excited. So
what a
yeah, those are like,
dream.
in the visionary art community, we're family. So that's just like, one of our many meccas or holy sites that we like to visit. And I'm just so excited to go.
I'm so excited for you. Wow, what a dream.
Yeah. Oh, Shara is gonna, I'm like putting in, there's so many people. I'm so excited to meet you all. Hmm. All right. Taking up the live stream with my sentimental giggles.
Come
This is
on,
what
so
you came for.
precious. So precious.
All right. Well, where are we at with we still haven't shared the actual momentum report. We can go ahead and share that.
Yeah, where is that?
Well, it's in the newsletter, but I can just pull up I got it. I got it. I know I
Cool.
sent it to you, so that means I have it. Da-na-na-na-na. So many slides. Sorry, I thought you had it. How was
It
it so
is.
easy to find when I sent it to you, but now it's
It
not?
is just that one.
Yeah.
Cool,
Did I
I
send
get
it?
it. I have it
Good.
here. Let me pull it here and I will share it.
Yeah.
Here. This one.
Good. Yeah. So each
Yay.
week in the newsletter, and you guys may or may not have noticed, I've switched the newsletter. We're putting those out Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday, if it just had to be. But we've switched to Fridays to coincide with the changing of the themes. So yeah, we this is the momentum report from the past week that we're just finishing up with money and value. So that was week 2. And so far we have gathered $2,469 toward our goal of $33,333. Now that isn't entirely accurate. We've had some more money come trickling in from this gathering momentum, critical mass gathering. We've had money come in from Amanda's auction that she said she is going to be donating to the fundraiser, which we're just so grateful for. So just so you know, it is a little bit higher, but it's been a slow start, I feel like, and as it was designed to be, we'll be gathering momentum as we go. Just now that you guys know where the links are, you can go ahead and be sharing those with all your friends. But yeah, $2,469 from 11 generous Mighty Cause donors. We sold $171 in sales in the Vision Train shop just this week. I thought that was a really sweet number. So thank you all that are shopping in the Vision Train store. I know some people took home some new t-shirts, some new mugs. So yeah, it's always great to see that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to frankly doing some shopping myself the next time I get paid. All right. And then 4 new artists registered for Amanda Sage's Embodied Vision workshop. You guys know that's coming up on Saturday, and enrollment will remain open all the way up until I asked her, I was like, are you going to close enrollment at any point? She's like, no, I'm just leave it open. I'm like, all right, sounds good. So all the way up until the last minute, you're free to join Embodied Vision, and Vision Express members do get a discount. So keep that in mind and look for that discount code, and that'll be shared in the Express network. Okay. So then we also have a continuum of daily vision deep dives with Kyra Joy. She's been exploring Gathering Momentum's weekly themes. Thank you, Kyra. It was really cool. I noticed I started off doing like a trip every day in the beginning, and it was like, for me, a short trip was like an hour. I can't seem to do anything less than 90 minutes on the train to save my life. And that's what happened anyways, but regardless. And then this week I was like, nope, not doing that this week. I never said I would, and I'm not gonna. But Kyra says she made all her flyers ahead of time. This woman has like got her whole website up and everything priced for her website. She's been unstoppable. So thank you, Kyra, for going deep with the deep dives, and bringing light to daily vision, which is a really important project of the Vision Train. We also had over 40 hours of trips offered by our conductors this week so far. And now I don't think I counted this gathering, but maybe I did. Um, but regardless, this is all totally volunteer based. People are doing this out of the joy and passion of their heart because they want to share what they've found with the friends that they've made on the train and with the world. You're all invited. So it was really, really moving because honestly, it's a kind of slow week on you know what I mean? This is not the busiest week we've ever had by any means, and attendance is maybe lower this time of year, but people are still showing up. We just continue to show up. And even if we're sometimes, Kyra and I are holding space for one another, and that's more than enough, right? So this time of year has been really cool to see that, to see 40 hours of programming just being given freely is amazing.
It is really incredible to see what we can put together in only a week, like these reports that you're bringing now, they are weekly. I'm excited to be present in all of them now that I can. I'm in full capacity for the Vision Train again. And yeah, I'm excited to see this evolution of the gathering momentum. And yeah, thank you so much for everyone that contributes with your presence and with more. So yeah, I'm deeply grateful.
Cool. Well, I mean, as far as I know, that's everything that we wanted to share with our report. But I know as we're sort of closing out of a week of money and value, which is coming on the heels of a week of just gathering momentum in the spirit of what are we building together. I've just noticed things are building on each other. Each week it's not as if we leave the previous theme and everything behind. We're weaving that in, and you can see that with the videos and with the conversations and with the trips, and it's just been so cool. So I did want to, yeah, leave some space here while we're still live streaming. Here in about 12 minutes, I think we're going to cut it off and we're going to enter into our critical mass art jam. And that part will not be live streamed this month, so you'll have to come join us on the train, which you can find the Zoom link again on the website. I believe it's probably linked on the YouTube as well, so if you're already there, you can find it there as well. But while we have the time, if I'm wondering, as we sit in this sort of point in between, you know, between the weeks as the themes are changing from the money and value into reciprocity and exchange, like how is that landing and how are we feeling, and is there anything that wants to be shared? Let's see my peeps. Let's see if there's anyone I can call out. I'm gonna see who's on camera. It's just me, you, and Brian right now holding it down. Brian, thanks for staying on with us. Choo choo. I know it's been quite a long ride. I've been at it. Oh, there's Shara. Hey, Shara. I'm not accusing anyone, by the way. I'm just looking around the room, and it's that I am the queen of staying off camera on the train. There's no rules against that here. And just so you know, if anyone's out there and seeing this past, present, or future, I
Um,
don't know how they would see it in the past, but this place is great for introverts that are wanting some kind of a social connection. I find I can speak from my own personal experience on that. So, yeah, no shade, Shara, for being off camera. Were you gonna say something, Brian?
oh, just um, just for leaning into other parts of my life. Um, I'm like trying to uh figure out like uh the slowdown at work and how to like make sure I say yes to other parts of my life that are as meaningful, like the vision train. I've kind of been kind of isolated lately, so yeah. Uh, so I was or like oh also another thing, um I'm sure I'm sure I don't have the only story on this or the monopoly on this, but like how like is there going to be other vehicles besides fundraising that are acceptable uh to this time period of the gathering momentum, um or like is there like a small donation on the small side or the large side? What what I think I'm I'm just getting trying to figure out how to factor this into what I'm currently making space for and hopefully trying to make space for this as well. But and I just you know life's a journey and I want to understand a
Yeah.
few things before I dive in.
Yeah, wow. I'm so glad that you asked because, yeah, to start with the easy question of like, small donation, large donation. In the Mighty Cause, I found out that it won't allow me to make a donation of less than $5. So that's a thing. So donations on Mighty Cause start at $5 and you get to decide exactly how much you give. And there's absolutely no you know, obligation to that because as you also asked, is there other ways? When I was designing this with the team, I was thinking about, what would it be like to do like get March of Dime styles to get me to go door to door or business to business in my neighborhood and say, hey, I'm a part of the Vision Train. Will you donate a quarter or something silly? Like, it's not silly if it gets you to engage with your community, right? But like, I was trying to think of different ways that make it really approachable for anyone, right? So the point being, yes, anything that you offer is, going to be willingly accepted. It's really not about money at the end of the day. It really was designed to welcome in more engagement into our lives, more talk about money and resourcing one another. Seeing Amanda be inspired to do her auction. She didn't necessarily know she was going to do that auction before we started planning this fundraiser. It sort of came about organically. And I can just see a lot of stuff like that happening throughout. So, like, for example, I know you have some really cool artwork, and what would it look like for you to, put that up for sale just for yourself? And if it were to sell, say, hey, I was inspired to sell this for by the Vision Train fundraiser, maybe I'll just give $20 to the Vision Train that I maybe wouldn't have felt like I could have before. So it's really about us being able to feel into what feels like, generosity isn't supposed to feel extractive, right?
Right.
So it's about, what do I have to offer? And sometimes that's money, sometimes that's not. So I'm really glad you asked.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, we've got about 5 more minutes according to the schedule. I feel like, it's like on the one hand, it's like, do I care about what time it is? And on the other hand, it's like the train metaphor, and we're staying on the track, so we've got a schedule to keep. We don't, okay? Don't let me fool anybody. But I just am aware of the time. We wanted to give about 5 more minutes to this segment, and then I definitely know that I'm ready for an art jam, I think is just what it is. I'm projecting a little bit.
I had to step away because I was talking to my mom's occupational therapist. So I heard you say something about Amanda having an auction.
Mm,
My question is, have you like scheduling a collective auction which sort of showcases different artists? Because online auctions are really shareable, and if it has, I feel like that kind of pops even more than trying to share the other fundraiser part. So just putting that out there. I would have a flute for a. I don't really have flutes to offer, but I would
yeah.
love for that. So
Cool. Jerry, I'm gonna, and for everyone here, I'm gonna pop in. We've got a super secret WhatsApp chat for this fundraiser, and I
okay.
love the idea, and there's nothing stopping us from doing that in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So,
Yeah, there's really good like online sites that organize it, so it's a really,
yeah, she used Better World for this one. I don't know if that's one you've used or if there's,
I
pros and cons, but
it's been a minute since I helped organize one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this kind of
Well, to
auction
know.
was already organized by the Vision Train for a fundraiser. Yes.
Yeah, they have done collective stuff. To answer your question, yes, they have done that in the past, but I
Yeah.
would love to do it again. Yeah. And then knowing also, because I tried to ask before, but then I know I got sidetracked. If your flutes were in some way available, I wouldn't presume that you sell them, but yeah, if you do, I would love to know more about that.
Yeah, just send me that also. I sort of, not really, sort of. I don't know. I just haven't been in my shop in a long time. And I went in there today and I was like, oh, the power doesn't work in my shop, in my garage. Guess I need to tell the landlords. The other thing I'm thinking is like, I used to uh, do a raffle with flutes, right? So I would have a music CD. So everybody who
Mm,
got a CD was put into, but they were kind of small and controlled, so that the chances of being the person who got the flute were pretty high. But that could also work at scale. So if you love, I don't know, if somebody has a print, but also stickers or
right.
whatever, or cards, then everybody who purchases something small is put into, has the potential of actually receiving something of higher value. But it goes, people would do it all the time because they're like, oh, I got this and I might get that. And so that was a super winner. And I think with artists, a lot of the artists probably do have either stickers or small prints, whatever, something that everybody's a winner. Everybody gets art.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot I could say about that. One of the things that I've been inspired to think about is even I remember in the beginning there was a lot of more talk around like NFTs and stuff, but even just simple like digital downloadable like resources, I could see myself in that vein, and that feels like, it's so accessible. It's literally, yeah. So different things like that and using that to, yeah, create the synergy and resource the world. Cool.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing this, Jerry. This is really interesting how we are like exchanging these possibilities of putting out there like this exchange for both, like, yeah, you get something, we get something. And this raffle way of like the raffle that you're mentioning, Brittany says that she does this often in her website, and it's really good. Where like you spend $10 on the website and you're on the raffle, and you get like a bigger product. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so interesting. Yeah, we are for sure this tactic will come to our Vision Train website as well, because this is really interesting. You just pursue something and then you get something bigger.
Yeah, yes, I was seeing it a lot on, Kickstarter with the stretch goals, and it's really cool to see like creative communities come together around these projects where they're just like they want it to stretch and stretch and stretch. So it's a really cool storytelling as well. People get, emotionally invested as well.
You see, Shara won raffle. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Oh, cute.
She's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a great reminder too. It's like during this fundraiser, it's like naturally I'm seeing more and more like cross-pollination, people going to check out what each other has, available and stuff. We're just like curious and maybe, yeah, it's just like wanting to share the wealth. So, yeah, I don't think I've ever spent so much time on Amanda's website and realized how much she had available. And then I can only imagine this is so true for so many of you as well.
Yes. It is indeed incredible to see like the collective.
Mm. Well, thank you, Jerry, so much for being here and to your flutes and the breath that animates them. I'm just so, so glad that you were here. Yeah, it was really, really our pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much. Wow, this critical mass. We're coming together to the end of the critical mass convergence, a monthly gathering on the vision train. And we will continue to gather momentum here on the vision train. Every Friday there will be the report, right?
Every Friday, either during Critical Mass or during Friday Art Jam. So every Friday we've got an art jam for you to come to. You know where to find us. And then the next Critical Mass in a month will be the very last day of our fundraiser. So we're sure to have something big happening. It's going to be exciting.
Yes, thank you all so much for your presence and your attention. I'm deeply glad to be spending time with you all here, and we will jam now. We
Choo
have,
choo.
yeah, we have an art jam. What we do here on the Vision Train, we jam. Yes, and yeah, I'm excited to be creating with you all. So if you're there on the live stream, please join us on Zoom. And you also can find all the information about the Vision Train at www.visiontrain.org. And
Also,
yeah.
shout out to all the musical artists and DJs that want to come play on the next Critical Mass or future Critical Mass. This is the first one that we didn't get a DJ, and that's okay. But, the door is open. The stage is warm for you guys. Like the magic we've created here, you want to be a part of this, and then we want to paint to your set. So contact the Vision Train. You'll find the links on the Critical Mass page. And yeah, everybody have a great night. And whoever's on the live stream, come join us on the Zoom.
Choo-choo! Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we are getting the live stream off. Bye-bye. Choo-choo.